Alright, stream has started. And just making sure all is good. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Everything is good. What is going on, my frosty friends? My name is Wintercasice, and welcome to Discord Dungeons and Dragons with the Solaires. I am currently playing with Tiny, Herma, Stray, and Ralph. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Open me up and put out the fire in my belly. Put out with knives and bullets and strangling.
Wow.
Okay, Punisher, calm down.
It's Krieg from That's
Oh.
I can do his voice almost perfectly when sick.
But where's the? Oh god, nope! I'm not gonna do that because that's spoilers. I almost made an episode 11 joke of Legend of Elves Markings. I won't. Like I said, I stopped myself.
Just in time.
But I finally got caught up, and I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
We won't be needing roll 20.
No. This in particular, I designed to be theater of the mind.
Ooh,
And
cool.
I have to do it that way because of the fact that this gets complicated and it gets weird, and if I had to do this with Roll20, there's no way I would have enough time to do it because there's just I'd have to manipulate a lot of things to make it work.
Understandable.
By combat.
The trial by combat that one might just be the weirdest of them all.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh,
I'm scared.
Oh, I'm not gonna say you should be, but I'm not saying you shouldn't be. So,
Wait.
Now I'm even a little bit more concerned.
welcome to level 9.
For the name of that human. Raquel,
What?
Yes.
I gotta catch a drink before I go
Oh.
into bed.
Oh goodness. Hold on one second. Nope. I got it. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta put my be right back sign up because I gotta pull up my notes. But in order to pull up my notes, it's on my main page, and I don't need you guys being able to see my notes.
That's something we don't want to see. I'm not.
Notes.
No,
Plan
just leave it
TPK.
there. Alright? You gotta know what you're up to.
No, you don't need that.
I am scared.
No.
I mean, at least the only thing I can say at least is I know they won't kill us.
Are you sure about that?
Well, 75% sure now. I'm
Just
slowly
at the
dropping.
There is
At
a
the top
trial by
notes.
combat for a reason, you know.
Yeah, but they're not into killing their perspectives.
At the
Let's just
top
say
of the
that
notes.
that it's not an out of control golem.
Oh god, that'd be terrible. At the top of the notes, in bold, double the size of everything, Ezrin breaks into the Thieves Guild.
Oh no.
Man, wouldn't
That
that be a plot twist?
Yeah.
That'd be a TPK right there.
Possibly. I mean, yeah, we never know. But I say, you guys don't know the full spectrum. You don't know what's completely going on. You were speaking of, why don't we go ahead and find out what happened last time on D&D. So last time when we left our party, they were able to successfully teleport back. Well, not back, but to the Thieves Guild's hideout, their main branch in the Cathedral of Shadows, inside of Stratford. Upon getting here, you guys quickly learned about what happened to your party members that vanished, and even talked to some of the people that were originally were with you in the capital of the Empire. Upon talking with them, you got to meet with Dante, one of the representatives. You got to meet with Dante, who was one of the Shadow Stalkers of the Thieves Guild. And you even got to meet up with Truewave, the Panther Tabaxi that befriended Kazir quite some time ago. Back when you guys were in Melbourne. Well, Yes, you met in Melbourne, but you didn't get truly acquainted until Makanali. There we go. Had to make sure I got my notes right. But upon meeting them, and also first time you guys found out about True Wave's position in the Thieves Guild, the Shadowstalkers brought you to the Tribunal, which is the rulers over the Thieves Guild. You got to meet the 3 rulers over it: Raphael the Unbreakable, Ophelia the Watcher, and you got to learn about the mysterious Silver Crescent, the face-stepping shadow. And upon meeting them, you were told about the possibility of joining the Thieves Guild and getting access to their various channels. Proving to you that they could get access to information, you got to meet with a former friend that you met, enemy turned friend over time. You met with Symbol, a former member of the cult of... Oh God. I left my notes for the cult in another notebook.
Neo-Naga.
Neo-Naga, thank you. I knew it was the Naga, but I'm like, I was trying to remember if it was the Neo-Naga or another Naga. Thank you. But anyways, you guys got to meet up with Symbol for the first time in quite some time after for Kazir and for Kazir and Blue, it was the first time since the Cube incident. And in which, upon meeting with her, she was able to verify quite a bit of the information that the Tribunal was giving you. And even the Tribunal talked to you about 3 missions that three decent problems that were happening inside of Stratford at the moment, between their representatives in the council aren't listening to them. The mayor / ruler of Stratford is being very unresponsive, and the frontline battles that are causing massive problems for the city of Stratford. Especially for Garnan when he found out that Ezrin was amongst them. Upon all of this coming together, the Thieves Guild, even though they wish to help you, they don't offer this help to people lightly, only to those who prove themselves. Your party may have been instrumental in helping them with some of their missions, but none of you are members. The only way for you to get, from their words to you, the only way they're willing to give you access to all the information that they have, and even ask for their assistance, giving you all their resources, is for you to become members of the Thieves Guild. And the only way to get instant membership is to take on the Trials of Shadows. Not a normal person can take the trials. Typically, you have to be suggested by a high-ranking member of the guild. And True Wave, representing for Kazir, offered him up to be taking these trials. It is up to Kazir whether or not he chooses to take these trials. He is given 24 hours to prepare himself. But as the morning comes, he will have to make his decision and decide who will be aiding him if he chooses to take the trials. And in that case, we've dealt with a lot of side notes with everybody else.
Correction, Winter.
Yes.
48 hours, not 4.
Apologies. Could you repeat that one more time?
We were given 48 hours, not 24.
Right. Yes, because of the fact they wanted you guys to have time to prepare and everything.
Oh yeah.
Because of the fact that they were also assessing. So yes, I see that in my notes now. Yes, they were also taking this time to assess and get back with their agents as well, because they didn't want to start the trials if there were going to be a bunch of problems. Go away, virus stuff. Go away. Leave. Get off my screen. Thank you. Jesus. But anyways, with that being said, and the party all convening on their own, with all their own backstory with all their background stuff, we went over Blue and Henrik being with Symbol. We went over with Garnan staying close to Alosa. We talked. You're not really sure what Knackle, Bimp, and Karik are doing right now, but for right this moment, we're gonna turn over to Kazir, who is currently with True Wave, as she has pulled you aside to a training room. I apologize, Kazir, for all of this that is going on.
It is not your fault. Kazir says in a kind of strained voice. Uh,
Yep. No, I hear. You're good. You're good. About to say, a True Wave looks at you and goes, I may have overstepped my boundaries in representing you and suggesting you for the trials, but this was the only way for you to get instant access.
no, I am very grateful for you to do that. Do this. It'll help in the long run.
But I feel like it's time that I tell you at least what you should expect with the trials.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. As a Shadow Stalker, I have the right to tell you. So you, as you know, based on what the tribunals told you, the tribunal warned you that it was going to be a 3-part trial, one representing each of the members of the tribunal. It is the Trial of Shadows, which is Silver Crescent's, my representative of and who I am a Shadow Stalker for. It will be a test of your stealth and your ability to move amongst the shadows, trying not to be seen, not to be heard. And how well you do will be determined by the eyes of her.
I understand.
Your second trial will be that of a trial of navigation. Which is done by Ophelia the Watcher, the elven individual you saw in the other room. The goal for this trial is for you to be able to navigate through essentially a little bit of a labyrinth, and be warned, taking a wrong step could have devastating results. They try not to. Sorry, I'm looking at the egg.
I know, I saw it too. Tiny's streaming.
I can see that.
Sorry. Yeah.
The stream can see that.
Everyone now can see your cute little egg.
But
Lazy egg? Or, tired. Whatever.
oh, it's all good. But getting back into it. With the trial of navigation, you do have to worry. I do warn you. They don't aim to kill. They will try not to kill you whatsoever. However, you are not immune to getting hurt. And I should warn you, someone who was tried to be a Shadow Stalker did walk away with a heavy injury.
Kazir kind of shivers and takes a deep breath. Thank you for telling me that.
Absolutely. And then there's the last trial. The trial by combat, which is done by Raphael the Unbreakable, the human you saw in the other room. That trial is solely based on your technique and your ability to fight, but also to adapt to the fighting situations that you're in. It is not so simple as a simple fight.
I wouldn't doubt it.
All of these trials may seem simple to anybody who may not know how our guild works, but us who work in the shadows, you watch as she takes a step back in the training room, and you kind of like focus for a moment, and it's almost as if you lost her completely. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 7. This is gonna be a bad.
With your bonuses.
Let me double check. My perception is +9.
So it's 16.
Yeah.
You completely lose sight of her.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
You kind of like walk to the corner and you don't see her at all. You suddenly start to hear her voice echoing from around the room. Our goal as a member of the Thieves Guild is to be able to accomplish our missions with the minimal amount of sound, minimal amount of sight. We are meant to know where we're going, and if we don't know the area, we adapt and we learn. And if combat is necessary, we need to be able to fight whoever or whatever gets in our way. Suddenly from behind you, you feel a knife come directly up to your throat from in front of you. And she kind of just whispers in your ear, "Do you think you can handle that?"
Kizir kind of swallows and nods. Yes, I do believe I can.
You watch as she pulls her dagger back and resheaths it. If you succeed, then you will have access to all of our information, everything inside of the the Thieves Guild archive. We have eyes and ears everywhere, and we even have agents that work in other operations here in Atharia. We have members stealth in the Neo-Naga. We have members. We even have members in the Broken Skull.
I did not know that.
Our information goes far and wide, and we can get most information if necessary.
I understand.
But these trials will be hard, and considering your group dynamic, I don't know what stipulations they'll have in store for your friends. But there is one last thing you need to know. For you, Kazir, specifically. You watch as she kind of reaches to the collar of her armor, and you watch as she pulls it down, and she, above her right above her right pec, closer to her clavicle, you see a marking, like in the fur, a colored distortion in her fur. And you see what to you looks like essentially a symbol of a mask. I'd like you to roll a religion check.
Alright. And... Are you freaking kidding me? 5. What is my religion again?
Is intelligence.
+1.
So 6. You're not really sure what that is, but I will say because it was mentioned while you guys were walking through, Belwraith and members of the guild have talked about it around you. It's reasonable for you to believe that's a symbol of Mask, the god of shadows and thieves.
Oh.
This is called the mark of Mask. It is something that all people who complete the trials of shadows can achieve. We all will be given a opportunity, and once we are given, if we succeed, we can get the mark. However, Kazir, I warn you now. In order to completely get the mark and the blessing of Mask, if you succeed, yes, natural 20 is nice. If you succeed in achieving the trials, each tribunal member will give you a target. Outside of these walls, they will give you targets. 3. And it will be your job to assassinate them. You do not need to do this. But if you do, you will get the blessing of Mask. And you watch as you look at her, and you watch as shadows coalesce around her body, around her legs, her arms, around her face. And trust me, you watch as she's gone. Like, you can't see her at all. And you're probably thinking, oh, invisibility. But as you kind of reach around you to try to, like, reach out for her, she's not there. But you hear that voice, again, echoing around the room. untouchable, untangible. You can't determine where she is. The abilities of this mark is a blessing. And you feel the shadows coalesce around your body. And for a brief moment, you feel as light as a feather. You feel like you can't be touched. You feel like you're so far out of sight, no one can see you. As she looks at you, and as a DM, I will explain I'll explain one thing. This is a homebrew concept that I created. This is a blessing, essentially you would be imprinted with a rune of a god.
Whoa!
And one of its abilities is a certain number of times a day you can cast Pass Without a Trace.
So kind of like a boon, as
Yeah,
Tiny put it in the chat.
Essentially like a boon.
Cool.
Depending on if you complete the trials, you would determine if you would get the mark. And if you succeeded, you would get certain abilities. One of them being an ability to cast Pass Without a Trace as a effect that you can cast a certain number of times a day. And in case you, the player, don't know,
Cool.
if you cast Pass Without a Trace, you and allies within 10 feet of you when you cast it automatically get to add plus 10 to your stealth checks
Slick.
for an hour. It is an incredibly useful ability, and as a thief or an assassin, it is your bread and butter.
Yeah, I can tell.
I tell you this as a DM to player, that this is an opportunity. You do not need to do this, but True Wave looks at you and goes, "The boon is very powerful, but it does come at a cost. You don't know who you have to kill. Only the tribunal can tell you. And if you accomplish this goal after completing the Trials of the Shadows, you will gain access to all of the boon. But that is optional, and you don't need to do it if you don't want to. But I wish to help you prepare."
I will have to think strongly about that.
That is okay.
And I...
Go ahead.
Oh, but yes, I agree. We need to train.
Allow us to let you use our training room, something you would get regular access to as a member of the Thieves Guild.
Thank you.
And I will say this, because this is something I liked a lot that I saw in, and I will openly admit this, and this is something I will say on stream, just so it is for the record. This is something I got from the Unexpectables. It is something that that Monty Glue, who guys can check it on Twitter. She's awesome. She does a lot of awesome stuff. She implemented a thing called a training room, that if you dedicate a day in the training room, if you do that, you have the ability to re-roll one check at any time.
Oh.
At any time.
Cool.
So basically, it's like having a point of inspiration for either combat or an ability check.
Nice.
You have to dedicate a day to get it, but in game it would make sense that Kazir would take the time to train in a training room. But
wait,
go ahead.
I'm trying to remember. Would Kazir need to sleep because they wasn't it like after a fight and all this other shit that they got teleported?
You guys got teleported literally as the base was being attacked by Garland and.
So Kazir would need to rest because they fought with Knackle before that happened, and there was no rest between.
Yes,
right.
I would say you guys did rest, and not much happened between now and then, but a lot has happened today. So if you wanted to take today to rest and even talk to your comrades, now would be the time. And then if you wanted to dedicate a day to training so you can get that point from the training room, as the DM, I would allow it.
Hasn't it only been like 2 hours?
Essentially, it's just afternoon at this point, like early afternoon. You guys woke up to a bunch of shit happening, and then you came to here, and you've eaten food, you've met with the tribunal, had a meeting.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
And a lot of you guys have been doing your own things on the side.
Wait, we ate stuff?
Yeah, you guys ate in the room
Nice.
with the tribunal.
Oh.
Food was offered to you, and I remember specifically Garnan and Tiny and Baloo. Tiny, you're in there. Get in there, buddy. Just Tiny. I'm gonna wait out.
Tiny, I choose you. I don't know why that came to mind.
I remember none of that. All I remember is Blue bringing out his Warrior's Fire beer and showing it to.
It's quite good, don't you think?
I remember a lot. I remember some of what happened with Henrik. Side near the end of that. Not what happened because it was off camera, but off camera.
Henrik has been having a hard time lately, but that's a personal issue.
Yeah.
Fine.
But it's fine.
Hold on. Blue asked if they had any charisma advantage beer. He said yes.
Yes.
And then he has no clue where it is.
Well, that's because you went off with Symbol and everything to work with her and Herma about Henrik about locking away the plague, the Viola plague that you had in an anti-magic area. And
Well,
go ahead.
I'm just gonna put this out there once it gets back around to me. Blue's gonna go back to Raphael and ask if to have a drink and listen to a song.
Absolutely. And that
Cool.
Once it gets back.
So, with that being said, Kazir, I'm going to start with you in this case. Kazir, it's about noon at this point. You don't have any points of exhaustion. You haven't used your spells. As far as I know, you're at full health.
Yep.
Did you want to take this day to train, or would you like to take this day to eat, rest, and talk with your comrades?
Oh.
You will get both.
I'll train.
I was about to say you will get both no matter what. But if you take the day to train, you will get that point of, essentially, I would say, a point of inspiration in this case, specifically targeted at your ability checks or a attack.
Cool.
But I say so. I would just mark that off to the side for yourself, just so you know.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can just write 1 training room point.
All right, I'll do that.
And if you ask me what you could use that on, I'll re-explain. And I will let you know that those don't stack, and anybody can get this if they take the time to train inside the training room. But you have to dedicate the time to do it.
Yeah, I get you.
All right, just want to make sure
I agree.
that's understood. And with that being said, Kazir, so you want to take the day to train with True Wave?
Yeah.
In that case, epic montage. Basically, as you enter the training room, the full training room, you see places that test your acrobatics. Basically, places that would test jumping abilities. Places that you balance bars and rock climbing walls for you to test your ability to climb and everything. You see training dummies that people seem to be practicing physical combat, fighting with weapons of all kinds. You see heavy duty not punching bags, but big old dummies that you see someone with a battle axe wailing on, and you see them trying to at least cut the blade into the metal. You see places for running and testing people's speeds and everything. Basically, the way I like to look at it is picture a full on full 24-hour fitness taken to the extreme. It's
Ooh,
it's like
slick.
it's like the Olympics up in here. Like a whole whole bunch of training.
The
units.
complete training room set.
Oh, absolutely. Considering that most of the space seems to be like underground or like at least away, like in the city, but like not in the city, it's very easy for them to be able to expand and do more stuff with. So this is a fucking huge ass room to be like training in.
Makes sense.
So you take the time you dedicate a day as you and True basically practice physical combat, your dagger techniques, your archery techniques. You run it, you practice your cardio, your physical trauma. By the end of it, you are fucking exhausted. Like,
Damn.
basically, she is going to work you out to the point where you can't move anymore.
Ouch.
But you,
I regret.
but you earned that point. You
Cool.
earned that point. So now you can use that again, either to reroll an attack roll, or reroll a ability check, which does include stealth.
Cute. Yeah. So that's gonna be useful.
Yes.
Which I
So
definitely
it's
will.
basically a point of inspiration that you can only use the next day.
Not the next day. For me as the dungeon master, you can use that training room point at any time. It is it is essentially the equivalent of having a point of inspiration, but it does not work for saving throws.
Cool.
Okay. Noted.
But if you are a combatant, like a fighter or somebody who just wants to take a day to work at the gym, I want to make sure that you as a player get rewarded for that. And that's why that point goes to either ability checks or towards an attack roll.
Cool.
So, like, for example, let's say Garnan decides, okay, day before the trial, I'm gonna work out in this training room. If he does that, he will get a point that he can use for either a strike, say like, oh, I want to attack, and then it's like, oh, not quite where you want it. And Waffle's like, I would like to use my training room point. I would allow him to re-roll his d20, and he can take that roll.
I'm going to be spending Garnet's going to be spending all of his before the battle, caring for Alyssa, waiting for her to wake up.
Absolutely.
Because I have script ready and have had it ready for like 3 weeks now. So.
Absolutely. I was just saying, if Garnet decided to take the time to train, then he could.
I know. I'm just telling you now. That's what he's doing.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wouldn't Blue getting the point be him playing music for like 18 hours straight?
I mean, yes, but also Blue is part rogue, so practicing cardio and endurance would also be part of the training as well.
Cardio, endurance, playing music incredibly loudly.
Playing heavy metal just all day.
No. It wouldn't be heavy metal. It would be inspirational music like the Eye of Tiger.
Yes.
He would be playing Sandman the entire time.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Sandman Sandstorm.
Hell yeah. But I just imagine you're in the training room and you're just following people just da 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 da.
Welcome, Bell Wraith. How long? I didn't realize he was gone.
I'm going back to muting until it becomes my...
Wait, can nobody else hear Bell Wraith?
Oh, I can hear Beller. We were just all talking at the same time.
Oh, just making sure.
I wasn't too worried about being late because I knew I wasn't going to be doing too much
Yeah.
this session.
We better say a lot of this preparation and I'm hoping we'll definitely get into the trials and hopefully maybe we'll get through them. Maybe we won't. We'll have to see.
Started streaming or
Yeah, I'm streaming currently.
I wasn't sure.
At least according to this button, it says I am currently live streaming.
Yep. Let's check. Yep. I see you streaming still.
Hey, Winter.
Yes.
I forgot to add everyone.
Oops, my bad. Whoops. My bad. But with that being said, for the first day anyways, because here you are being worked to the bone. You literally all your muscles are being worked out to the point of you. But basically, I guess the best way to explain it is: have you ever in school you had to run like the mile in school, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Picture that, but every muscle in your body.
Yeah. Like the complete full body, push your whole body to its limit.
Absolutely, like handstand push-ups. About to say climbing, having climb up a rock face, running the track constantly,
Yeah.
practicing your dagger techniques. I'm about to say working on your stealth.
Basically, doing every piece of training you can.
Yes, but with that being said, you do get that training room point.
Does that mean a long rest has passed?
I would say at this point, if Belwraith wanted to rest, I know Gardan was resting to do the exact same thing, so he can burn off that point of exhaustion, being close to Ilosa. But if that is the case, then yes, a long rest will pass.
I would like to cast Commune then. Let me.
It's still the day before, but
It is. It's still the same day. Don't worry. I will get to everyone, but Belwraith, we haven't done anything with Belwraith yet, so bear with me, Tiny.
Yeah, I have my messages. I would like to cast Commune.
All right. And who is it that you are wishing to commune with?
The static.
Oh. All right. In that case, which questions are you... You have 3 questions to ask.
Yeah. Are you male?
As you... And just to set the scene, just a moment. As you are in your chamber, like your own bedroom chamber, and you kind of just set the incense and just let it fill the room, you feel, as you cast Commune, you feel this overwhelming sense of that static noise in your brain kind of coming out, but the audio is almost like on reverb outside of your head instead of being inside. And as you do so, you are asking the question, is he or she male?
Yes.
As you ask that question, you feel the static kind of stay calm and quiet. Doesn't seem to be overly aggressive. You get the sense that the answer is more of a positive. So for you, it would lead to believe yes.
Okay. Just 1 second. Sorry, I just have organization
Wow, it got
questions.
Yeah. Which, in case anyone's... I apologize. Just one other disclaimer, just to make sure. For anybody who doesn't know what the commune spell does, it is not a direct answer. Like, it is not something that, like, a god is going to say yes or no. It's basically signs for interpretation, in which I will do my best to describe for you to be able to understand. Just wanted to clarify. Apologies.
Are you affiliated to Tyr?
You feel the sensation of that static get louder and more frustrated, leading you to believe no.
Do you or did you have a physical form at some point?
The sensation calms down, and it's a little muddled. More of you get the sense that yes and no.
So unsure?
Essentially, because it's a simple response, and it can't be too complex of a response. It's more along the lines of it does, but not in the sense that a normal mortal would believe. Again, up to you to interpret, but that is what I can give you from that response.
Okay.
And as you ask that last question, the incense go out, and you are left alone in the room again.
Alright. I don't really need to talk to my gods about that. So, okay. I just wanna... I just want to keep up on that because I have
Yep.
a bunch of questions. for you.
Absolutely, and that is not a problem. I just any time that you have the capabilities of commune, all you have to do is say so, and the setting will be reset for you to be able to do so.
Thank you kindly.
But as you cast that, is there anything else Belwraith would like to do in this time?
What is there to do? I have not been here
Oh.
for this session.
You
So
t-
what's going on?
If you talk to one of their representatives of the guild, they explain to you that you have free roam of the Cathedral of Shadows. You could easily wander and talk to some of their members. They might be willing to share some information, but obviously some they won't talk about because of confidentiality amongst the guild. You will not have access to their archives, as there are a lot of mainstream secrets that only members of a guild can have access to.
And I assume
go ahead.
that's guarded.
You have without going too in detail, you have a sense that yes, that would probably be something that would be very well guarded.
Is it my...
What's up?
Oh, someone died.
You good, Stray? That was
Not hearing you, buddy.
that's weird. Well,
I'm muted.
well,
Just not hearing him.
let's let Stray meddle with his stuff for a little bit. But yeah, that aside, they explained that there is a training room for if you wish to train there. You are told that Kazir is currently training inside the training room as well. Otherwise,
sorry,
go. You're good.
I apologize for interrupting, but I seem to be having a little bit of an annoyance going on. My Discord keeps cutting out, and everyone completely goes mute for a second, and it's being really weird.
That's weird. Better say keep on top of that.
So-
If it becomes a bigger problem, don't be afraid to speak up. Okay.
I'm gonna try to restart it now, but I figured I'd tell you guys that way, just in case, you know.
Sounds good. Appreciate the keeping me up to date.
No worries. Be right back.
No problem. But for you, Belwraith, yes, they explained that you can do you can go into the training room, which just to explain to you because you weren't here, this is the training room concept is something that I did not come up with. This was actually Monty Glue of the Unexpectables is one of the people that implemented this. And I love it a lot that I also wanted to incorporate it into my own game. The training room, essentially, if you dedicate the time to be in the training room for a augmented amount of time when training your physical body and mind, you can earn a point of a training room point. If you achieve a training room point, it's essentially the equivalent of getting an inspiration die, except for it only works for ability checks and combat. It does not work for saving throws, but it is essentially the equivalent of having an inspiration point.
Alright.
And it does not expire.
I do not need to do anything, I don't believe, then.
Can those stack?
No, those do not stack. Otherwise, that could be broken as fuck.
True.
Very.
I will be in the training room with Kazir, but not training. More of a moral support kind of thing.
Absolutely. So
Silent moral support.
And as you go to the training room, you see this massive training room that they have, and they do actually have more of a seating area for people who are resting or taking a break from it. There are refreshments and various foods and drinks that are just being served there, so you could easily just take a seat and just go like, "Huh, go Kazir." Oh.
That feels more like it's for people who are training, so he'll refrain from doing so.
All right, but otherwise, I mean, there is access to some books, more like your basic like information books, nothing like major. So if you wanted to do that, you could. Or again, if you wanted to get involved in the training, if you're willing to dedicate some time to it, you could also get a training room point if you wish to.
Alright. I will not do that.
All right.
Just from character perspective.
From character perspective, just right there for Kazir, in case he needs you.
Yep, if he gets heard doing some stupid shit.
Sounds good. With Belwraith doing that, Blue.
Hold on. The books slash magazines that are in the training room include Tharia on the broken skull.
I mean, you don't know. You'd have to look at it.
I don't know. That wasn't what I was gonna say. It was like it's gonna be Atharia's hottest outfits.
Yeah, just
But I got hot takes instead.
Oh my god, just Atharia Monthly. God,
Atharia Monthly.
you gotta stay away from that magazine. You just get rumors.
Yeah, be careful what you see.
Just get the latest gossip from fucking you just get the latest gossip that's going on. Fucking like did you hear about the nobles in Westray?
While I was waiting, I was playing Sandstorm on a kazoo.
God almighty.
You just open it up and you just see Westray's most eligible bachelors. but again, that's something you'd have to look at. But Blue.
Number 1 is Belwraith. But
You just see Belwraith, a picture he didn't take of himself, but it's like him without a shirt on, like swinging his mace at something, and
Photoshopped face, basically.
and it's just I just imagine Belwraith is like looking through this, going like, I don't remember that picture whatsoever. What the fuck? But
it's a zoomed in lens taken from like at least 100 yards away.
your face is like distorted. You were mid swing or mid talking, and so your mouth is like open, like to the side and everything. So it's like.
There's an encoded message in the script, in the paragraph.
It's like a picture of Spider-Man, like Peter Parker, Spider-Man from the Ultimate Spider-Man, where anytime they take this picture, it's like. But anyways, so back to the game. Blue, you had just put the plague bottle in the anti-magic room. So you told Symbol that you were going to walk away to get a drink. So, what would you like to do?
I was leaving Symbol with Henrik
Yep.
to work on a whatever, giving them both bardic inspiration. I'm going to leave to find Raphael.
All right. So, it doesn't take you that long. You simply just ask some guards, like some of the members of the guild, and eventually you get to Dante, who is the Shadow Stalker who works underneath Raphael. Which again, do you need a reminder of who Dante is, or do you have to have a general idea?
I know who Dante is. He is pretty much Raphael's advisor. He tells him about the battlefield happening, stuff like that.
Essentially, second in command for Raphael specifically.
Shadowstock.
And with that being said, you see Dante, who looks at you and goes, "Oh, hello, my friend. How can I be of assistance to you?"
I'm looking for Raphael.
Oh,
About I wanted to talk to him about getting a drink, listening to some of my music,
oh,
maybe learning a bit about his homeland.
oh, absolutely. Give me one moment. I will have a word with him and see if he is available to go get a drink and everything. A lot of things are happening right at this moment, so it's a bit complicated. But let me have a word.
All right.
You watch as Dante goes into the main room of the tribunal, and you watch as he walks up to the stand that would have Raphael's chair, and you watch as he just kind of dings his sword a couple times into the wall, and you watch as the wall just like its bricks kind of reform and change, and you watch as the stand itself opens up, and you watch as he walks through a door that was not there prior.
He's gonna wait all the way outside of the tribunal.
Absolutely. It takes a
Disrespect.
it takes a couple minutes, but eventually you just hear, somebody is looking to speak with me. Oh, friend! You watch as Raphael, who is still clad in his armor, He walks up to you, and you remember him. About to say, kind of a thinner hair. About to say, not it's a bit longer in the back, but seems pretty thin in front. Like not. Basically, he's not like his hair's not thinning, but it's like he keeps it pretty shaven, like at least closer to his face.
He keeps it like an army general.
Pretty much, but he lets the hair kind of grow in the back a little bit. And he walks up to you, kind of goes, "How may I be of service to you, friend?"
Well, I was told that you had some special alcohol that could help with my charisma.
Oh, you are looking for a drink? Oh, you speak my language. I could use one about now.
Yeah.
Come along, friend. And he actually leads you back to the room that he came from.
Oh, I'd follow.
All right. As you walk into it, immediately, first things first, the temperature in this room changes. It is actually a bit cooler in this room than it was in the back room. And as you walk in, you would expect, oh, it's probably just going to be a small room. This room is kind of like a lounge. It's actually got like a table and like various like essentially like cabinets and stuff. You see off like kind of like a studio apartment, like off in the distance, you see like a bit of a bed and like a setup for like sleep and everything. On the walls, you see a ton of weapons of all kinds. So you get an idea that this guy's probably well versed in combat. However, also along the wall, you see symbols of like maps. Like you see like what essentially are like painted portraits of various landscapes. Roll a history check for me.
I'll roll a history check for you. How'd 26 get me with the natural 20?
You think about it for a moment as you're looking at some of these landscapes, as you're kind of just walking by, and you think about it for a moment, and you see these like some of these are like jungle landscapes. You see like a landscape. You see a picture, a painting of like an oasis with like a city around it. You see what appears to be a gentleman barely having any armor on. He has like a helmet and holding what appears to be a lance and a horse, like a nice mare that definitely doesn't look like a horse you've seen around here. It seems to be a little bit more sturdier, like a little bit more strength in its build, but it doesn't seem to have kind of like a war horse. It's kind of like a war horse, but it's different from what you've seen in Atharia. As you are from Westray, you've been around the war horses and everything. As you know, the king of Atharia needs to be protected, and its cavaliers need to be well armed and trained. These war horses seem a bit not as compact. These actually seem to be a little bit thinner. And you're kind of thinking about it, and you're like, if you really had to think about it, it's probably a little bit more maneuverable than your standard warhorse. But with
more speed, harder to hit.
Exactly. But you look at this younger gentleman, and with a 26, you could definitely tell the resemblance between this young man and the gentleman that let you in the room in the first place.
He's gonna keep his eye trained on the picture. Hey, Raphael, was this... My sick mind is messing with me. Hold on.
It's all good.
Okay. Was this you back in Idrish?
Oh, yes! You watch as he walks up, and he currently holding it. It doesn't appear to be a magical bottle of liquor. It just seems to be a normal liquor. And he pours it into a tankard for you, and hands it to you. And he pours one up for himself. Yes, that is me when I first joined in the military in Idrish. Simpler times. Gods. Had so much hair back then. Nowadays it just gets in the way if it's in my face.
I tried to grow out my hair once. That was a bad idea.
Oh, well, you got plenty of time, friend. Just look at you. And he kind of pats you on the back, maybe a little too hard on the back.
You know, Kazir, he actually is a lot younger than he looks. A lot younger than he actually is. We were in a time temple a bit ago. It was from the god of time. He got hit by a trap that turned him back. I think like 2 years.
That is interesting. Oh. No, you think
Yeah,
the god?
but-
You think the god of time takes calls?
Well, it was the old god of time. The one that was corrupted by the abyss.
I would say for the sake of brevity, you probably explain the temple and what you know about it and the former god of time.
He's gonna explain it to him, even showing him the artifact he has around his neck. I'll take a bit of a drink.
Hold on 1 second. He's gonna roll. Yep, no, that's fitting. He looks at it and goes, "That is definitely a nice trinket. I can see the runes on it, so it definitely is magical. But as far as gods go, the only gods I've ever known about is..." and you watch as he kind of shows off the side of his neck, and you see a symbol of a mask on his neck. Which, roll a religion check.
I'll roll a religion check. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna say this outright. Last session, what I had with Jasmine, I rolled incredibly well. Because I'm very lucky.
Yeah. Happens. What'd you get?
It happens. Let's see, what's my I'm just looking for my religion real quick. I have a +6 as well. Another 26.
All right.
I rolled another natural 20.
Easy.
My dice tower.
Nice. I actually have my dice tower set up too. Nice. But it doesn't take you too long, to put one and one together. You've seen this symbol around the Cathedral of Shadows. It is a symbol of Mask, the god of darkness and thievery. And you would know that it is a god that doesn't really get a lot of reverence for obvious reasons. It is a god that's often misunderstood and seen in two different lights.
I see. Symbol of Mask. I see him as a good god.
It goes both ways. There are many followers of Mask that are on the wrong side and see Mask as a means of getting what they need and then doing as they please. And then there are people like me and the rest of the guild. Most of us see Mask as a means of opportunity. But nothing more than that. Our actions are our actions. We are just seen with the possibility to sneak around to do our deeds. Come, take a seat. Let us drink.
Blue goes and sits down.
As you sit down, you watch as Dante walks back into the room. And you watch as Dante walks in with what appears to be a very, an instrument. You are familiar with most instruments, and you've actually seen an instrument like this before. It is similar to that of a violin, but its craftsmanship is done a bit weirdly. It's a bit more elongated, but not huge. It's not like a cello, but it's more like one that, for a normal person to have it on their arm, like how they would traditionally play a violin, for someone like Raphael, they'd have to fully extend their arm. And his arm's pretty huge. He has to fully extend his arm in order to hold it and press and move his fingers along the strings. Thank you, Dante. It has been some time. I was planning to practice. It's a bit stressed and a stress reliever for my part.
Well, maybe I could hear some of your stuff.
Absolutely.
See what-
I don't get performances very often, so this will be a good time. And you watch as he... Oh my gosh. Go, mail. Go away. Go away, mail. Sorry, it appears on my screen, and I don't like that. I don't know how to turn that off yet. But you watch as Raphael grabs this pretty massive violin, and you watch as he is going to roll a performance check. And because of his background, he has it. He does not have advantage, but he is trained in it.
I would like to give him bardic inspiration.
If you wish to. Do you want to do it stealthily, or do you want to do it?
I'm gonna smile at him. It's been a while, so
Been a while.
try and make it. Just make it for yourself. Don't try and impress anyone. You'll do great, bardic inspiration.
All right, and that's a D8 or
D8.
okay. Nice. That is a 27.
Nice.
And by the way, he only rolled a 2 on your bardic inspiration. He
well.
he is trained. Like you immediately, first thing you notice, this guy knows what he's doing. Like he is trained. Like you would swear if he was from Atharia, he was trained at one of the colleges. But you watch as he goes into a nice medley. The best way I would explain it is, have you ever heard one of the deeper violins in a full orchestra, like when they do operas and everything?
I have.
Do you remember the deeper string noises that they have for operatic performances?
It's been a while, but I believe so.
Kind of similar to that of like what would be the... Well, God, I'm trying to think of the play, the opera that I'm trying to think of. Shit. I'll have to look it up later. It's very beautiful. It's hauntingly beautiful, essentially. I love that shit. That shit's awesome. That's why I like college. Whenever I deal with college stuff, it's never a problem because I love music. Music's awesome. But his is more like hauntingly beautiful. It's definitely different than most things you've heard around here. Roll a history check with advantage because of your training at the college.
I am a bard! Jesus Christ. Okay. That's a 23. I got a 17 plus 6.
All right. So 23. Immediately, the style is definitely different than what you are used to. But you've heard pieces that are done in this style. You would know that this is more traditional in the southern continent of Kedrun. Idrish is one of those countries that strongly uses this style of performances. They do more operatic-based performances rather than more like... Atharia likes some more jovial tunes, and they like their festivals. This is music that was intentionally done to move a performance, like move the audience of a performance, get them to feel something more as they're listening to it. And as you are listening to it, you can feel that. It's almost as if he's bearing his soul to you as he is playing. And as he hits the last chord and he pulls the string, he pulls the oh god, what is it called? The God, it's gonna drive me up a wall. It's the
Oh,
thank you. God, that was gonna drive me up a wall. Appreciate it.
I have the type thrill of the fight. Get wrecked, nerd.
But as he pulls the bow across the strings in one more solemn note, you hear the zink as he pulls it off. Oh, it's been some time. What did you think?
That was amazing.
Ah,
Comparable to...
thank you. I appreciate it. I don't practice as often as I wish I could. A warrior's job is never done.
I haven't been able to decide recently.
Oh?
Running from the Empire.
Well, you have comrades and you travel on the road. Certainly, you must play your, from what I see, a lute.
That's the main instrument I have, but I actually play something. Blue's going to reach on his side and pull out a conductor stick from what would be a dagger holder. Yeah, he keeps it in the dagger holder.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, viable place.
It's his weapon.
It is. Hold on 1 second. Oh, you're how you say a maestro.
Yes, I was given this by the headmaster of the College of Valor.
Interesting. How's he doing these days? It's been some time.
He's dead, or as close to dead as he'll ever get.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
You do know Valismere is in the Broken Skulls, right?
Hold on 1 second. He rolled with advantage because this is information he would be warned about. Yeah, with a 23 he does. I am aware of this, how you say, follower of Grost, from what my agents say.
He was a professor in the College of Law. He was my professor in the College of Law.
Interesting.
Recently, he's been going around Atharia and other places, picking up bards and infecting them, changing them, making them go into college, different types. I believe symbol as the College of Blood, College of Siren, stuff like that.
Fascinating. It would make sense that they would go after bards. All things considered, bards are music. Were trained in the college. You know how a bard's magic works, correct?
Yes, it comes from the music that they play.
Oh, it's even deeper than that, comrade. As he sets the drink down and he looks at you, and you watch as he opens his palm, and you watch as an image appears in his hand, and you see that of a note. Bards are musicians, yes, and our magic is definitely used in our performances. But our magic does not come from the music itself. Our magic comes from the ability to manipulate creation, and we focus that through music, through performances, comedy, any kind of creation of any sorts. It is the very foundation of the magic that is cast. And you watch as the note kind of changes into that of... essentially that of a sheet of music. And you watch as the notes go from one position to another. And as it does, it's almost as if you see arcane runes around it. I have seen musicians far and wide being able to do things that even a wizard or a sorcerer would have a hard time doing. And that is because we all harness the power of creation. Our ability to create something from nothing. And that, my friend, is the gift of being a bard. And you watch as he closes his hand and the illusion fades.
Well, you seem to. What's Bards? Were you from the?
Yeah, you were cutting out. Have you repeat that?
Have you been in the College of Valor?
Well, Valor has never been my strong suit, but back in my country, we had a, how you say, a college of swords, and it trained many well.
Well, do you believe that? Can I get his name?
Solomon?
If you, Solomon, do you believe that if you were
Oh, you're talking.
regular form?
Wait, hold up before we continue. Are you referring to the gentleman you're speaking to, or are you talking about the ruler,
Get out. I'm referring to the headmaster.
the headmaster? Okay, so yes, that is Solomon.
Yes.
What's wrong with that cat?
If you. That.
It's all good. It's all good. Take your time.
That. Hold on. My cat got in the room.
I could hear that. Well, what is going on, my frosty friends? Hope everyone is enjoying this rather chill session to start. You know, who knows how this will progress, but, you know, just chilling.
Yeah.
God damn. It's kind of weird to think. Before we were. Like last week, Ukraine wasn't being invaded by Russia.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's not.
Okay.
Better not to bring
Yeah.
that to.
No.
Okay. It's the cat's out of the room.
Cool.
Sounds good. So you were saying?
Bye.
Do you believe that if you were to meet someone who's regular, that he would trust you?
Me and Solomon had our differences in views, and being that of the College of Swords and the College of Valor, it's a very complicated relationship, but he was a friend. He was someone I turned to in time of need. It was very sad to hear what happened to him. But, I mean, if he is out there, there is always chance of saving him.
Blue closes his eye. I gotta refer to my notes.
Gotta refer to your notes?
Sorry. Yes, because Blue remembers where Solomon is.
You have to check your notes. Excuse me.
Blue leans back, takes a sip from his beer. Have you ever heard of a place? Zelatar?
A place called what?
A place called Zelatar.
Zolatar. Hold on 1 second. I gotta check if he does know. Pulled up my notes.
Blue asked the skull where so it said he was in Zolatar, and that's
A kind of a complicated place.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of off the beaten path. You know, take a left turn at the planar shift. You know. Unfortunately, my knowledge on anything outside of our domain is quite limited. What can you tell me about
All I know is that I have a friend, let's just call it that, who says that Solomon is currently there.
Interesting. Do you wish for me to do some research?
If you could, but I'm
Si-
gonna
Go ahead.
something real fast to see how much Blue trusts.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. Save that luck. Winter,
Yes.
you trust him a lot. I rolled a natural 20.
But hey, man.
Okay.
I
Jesus Christ.
will say in this case, you insight this guy. You insight this guy so hard. He seems like he's bearing his soul to you. Like he is not holding anything back. As far as you can tell, he is showing no signs of lying. He's showing no signs of messing with you. He isn't misleading you. He seems straightforward.
I will show you something was given right before Solomon was taken. Something that he trusts me previous life.
Oh?
Who's going to reach into his bag of holding? Deep into the bag of holding. No, it's not even in his bag of holding. It's in the bottom of his bag. She only keeps the important things in. And he pulls out a book. A pretty hefty book. And sets it down. This is Solomon's research. He figured out how to mix bard magic and wizard magic to give stuff like this. Blue's going to stand up and
And he casts what?
That's what I'm checking. Oh yeah, that'll do. I'm going to cast, let's do a little... I'm gonna cast Rising Crescendo
Oh.
on him.
As you start to string your lute, and you focus on the arcane words that you put into a song, and as you do, you feel your fingers feel as light as feathers, and as you do, you watch as Raphael starts to float. Dante at first seems a little like aggravated, goes kind of jumping to attention, but Raphael just immediately, you see him amused. Oh, fascinating. I've never seen this done before. It's definitely a unique skill.
It's one of a kind, you could say. But he never was able to perfect any of these spells before he was taken. Each of his spells learned so far have a downside.
Oh, interesting.
This one, with this spell, it's called a Rising Crescendo. You're able to fly as much as you can. I can see you. But I become paralyzed for...
Well, this is the way of a bard. In comparison, a wizard is very similar. We can be quite destructive. We are loud and we have problems with people, but at the end of the day, our music is made to help people, make them feel better and feel like they can accomplish their goals. Is not what you're doing right now?
It is.
Say I needed to get to the top of my shelf here, and you watch as he just flies to the top shelf, and you watch as he pulls down a bottle. A black bottle with a blue label on it. And he comes back down to the ground, and he sets his feet on the ground and goes, "You see what you did there? Your music aided me in accomplishing my goal."
Yeah, our music helps others, though it can also be very harmful.
Well, absolutely.
There's a spell in here. He's going to drop the concentration for that. Let's look over a spell called Confusing Melody.
Oh, God.
He's not gonna cast it yet.
Yet.
This one is called Confusing Melody. It is able to confuse something. It doesn't. If it isn't able to go through the melody, I was able to reset the of a demon who was just summoned by casting this spell.
Oh, quite the feat to say.
Yeah, it had my entire party trapped in a cellar. So I went up to it and cast the spell. It forgot the last hour and a half of its life. It was summoned an hour and 20 minutes beforehand. I was able to convince the demon that I was the one who summoned it, and I gave it a new mission.
Fascinating. Oh, goodness. You Solaires. Fascinating stories. I'm interested to hear the stories of your allies as well. But, how about we have a seat and we talk about it over drinks?
Alright, I'm curious what's in that blue bottle.
Oh, this is a very special bottle. I only have a few for right now. Special order from my home country of Idrish. This, as you see him, you watch as he pulls out a very special cork. A very special. What are they called? It's a cork remover, essentially. It appears to be a very simple, spin. But as you watch the spin go upwards towards the handle, you see like the imprint of a little sword going up to the little onto the handle. And you watch as he kind of digs it in, and then as he pours it for you, this is a special drink that we call Sweet Valor. And you watch as he pours it, and you see this bluish wine flow out of it. You kind of take a whiff, and it kind of smells like wild berries, kind of like raspberry, not raspberry, but blackberries and blueberries.
This reminds me of a drink I had a while ago. It was given to me by a gnome in Peglin.
Oh, it sounds like the gnome has good taste. You can't get Sweet Valor around here, unfortunately, but I always keep a couple bottles. You watch as he pours himself a drink. The truth is, with everything going on, you never know what day might be our last. So why not have a drink and enjoy our time?
That's what I've been doing since I left Westray. Treating every day like making everyone have to deal with that.
We have to live. You have to live like a true bard, enjoying life and everything that it involves, and treating every day like it's our last. Cheers, comrade.
Cheers.
And as you cheers and you take a drink, again, it tastes like it tastes like someone like blended blueberries and blackberries together, and it tastes like there's a hint of kiwi. And as you drink it, it goes down very smoothly. This is a very nice wine from what you can tell. And as a person from Westray who's dealt with the finer things and dealt with the finer people, quote unquote, you know your way around some wine. It is quite good, and as you drink it, you feel more confident than you have in some time, actually. And for the next hour, you have advantage on all charisma checks.
Nice.
It is essentially the equivalent of a bottle of enhance abilities.
Nice.
Specifically charisma.
Specific. Blue's going to pull up his conductor's stick. How about we play a little song and talk about some adventures we've had.
Yep.
Share some experiences.
It sounds like a good time to me. You watch as he pulls up his viola and he places it on his shoulder. Let us play a rousing performance. Wouldn't you agree?
That sounds great to me.
Then I would like you to roll a performance check with advantage.
You know what? Just to make this good, I am going to add lucky.
All right. Oh, thank God he had advantage. That first one was a natural one. That could have been really bad.
I'm gonna let you say what he.
Oh, with his second roll and with his proficiency bonus, that is a, hold on one second. 24.
I got a 32.
Nice. So you are kind of, basically how this is going is that you are leading. You are basically doing exactly what a maestro would do. And essentially as you swish your fingers back and forth with the stick in your hand, you feel almost as if the music's coming directly from like your chest. Through your chest, up your throat, through the esophagus and out your mouth, and you essentially see the music pour out of you. And as you are leading the way, he is pulling the bow across the strings, and as you hear it, his soft, more deeper chords are complementing your more advantageous, more festive tones.
He's playing one of the main parts in the band. Blue's playing the entire band with his conductor stick.
Hold on 1 second, I gotta pull something up.
That's what it does.
Absolutely. I'm just checking one thing real fast. And as he is following your performance, you start to see the room itself start to change. And you start to see a performance. You start to see images of a land far away from here. You start to see images of a jungle with a city nearby. You see a young boy, can't be like 10, 11 years old, with a viola on his shoulder, playing a tune underneath a tree. And you watch as just people, little kids, teenagers, adults coming by and watching the performance. As you're pulling the maestro stick and playing it, you turn over and you see this same child grown up a bit, more of a teenager. You see this child performing in front of a large crowd. You're seeing you see people dressed pompously, people more well-to-do than the children watching the original performance, and you see them having just as great a time and applauding. As you continue playing, you start to see images of a town being attacked. You see a city falling to ruin, but you still see that same boy, teenage years going to adulthood, with his viola in his hand, and you watch as he kind of just puts it away as he lifts up a sword to his side. As you continue to look around, keeping up your pace, quickening it a little bit as you're just feeling a tempo coming out of you. As you turn and you feel those sour notes, you see combat. You see people constantly and almost battling creatures of all sizes, big, small, being quick-paced, fast-paced, slow-paced. You are forced to watch this all unfold, and you watch as, in the midst of the combat, this young man now, adult, probably early 20s, mid 20s. You watch as he, surrounded by people wearing armor, heavy plates, great axes, war hammers. You watch as this young man pulls out his viola once again and starts to play. And just like when he was performing in front of the children and the posh people, you watch as the soldiers enjoy the performance. You watch as you circle around to see all these different things. You see creatures you've never seen before. You've seen battles you've never heard of before. And as your performance kind of draws to an end, you watch as he pulls his to an end first, as he pulls the final string. He pulls the bow across the string and ends his tone. But as you continue playing, and as the maestro, you would know that the music doesn't stop until you say it does. And eventually, as you put your maestro stick up one more time and go for the finishing flourish, you watch as the images around you start to fade to green and then blue. And eventually fade to nothing as the performance has come to an end. Dante, who was sitting in the corner, you just see him clapping like that was. I gotta get his accent proper. Goodness gracious. That performance was amazing. I have never seen anything like that before. I don't get very often to have an audience, or in this case, to have a professional talent with me in quite some time. That was very impressive.
That was the first time I've seen...
Well,
I'm actually out of character. When was the last time Blue played with the bard?
it has been quite some time. I believe the last time you did that proper was in Makanali when you played with the orc group.
The last time I proper bard has been... It's been since I was trying to clear a town's minds. The whole empire. That was... You're really good.
Well, you see, my young friend, I have years of experience, time on the battlefield and growing up in Idrish. You know, times were always hard. Things were always sad. We always struggled, and we've seen our hardships. I have been in several cities that have fallen apart before me, but I always had my friend with me. And you watch as he kind of pats his viola. I always had my music to guide me, even if I had to go down a different path. I wear this armor as that of a soldier, but I've always had the heart of a bard. And in case you're curious, Tiny, Blue would probably know this too. Those images and everything appearing before you were that images of Raphael through his life, as he had cast programmed image around you. And as your music brought everything to life and brought everything more realistic to all the scenes, you got to basically see his history without him having to say a word.
history was saying your history. Yours full of valor, fighting. Mine was sitting in a room and writing essays.
What can I say, friend? What I've said is exactly what I mean. Us bards, our music comes from what we create and the things we see around us. Our only limitation, as he points to his head, is our creativity.
If you
But,
I'll just be back.
but what do you say? Why don't you keep me and Dante company for some time? Share some stories and enjoy each other's company. What do you say?
I'll tell you a bit about myself and about the Solaris.
Absolutely. I'd love to hear. And with that, for the sake of brevity, I will allow you to take pretty much the majority of this day to just take some time, play some music, enjoy the company of someone who seems to relate to you. And Dante. I don't understand why he's there. But he's
And Dante,
but
just there.
he kind of seems to seems to like it though.
I'm just gonna say this outright. Blue's gonna spend the entire day getting kind of drunk, not very,
Yeah.
but telling him about his own backstory, Western, and the Solaris backstory.
Absolutely, telling him about your days in Westray and your time in the College of Lore, talking
And-
about your. Go ahead.
And before Roland,
Oh,
he gets to learn where the last name.
where the ward comes from.
Yes.
Absolutely, talking about Roland and someone. Actually, hold on one second. Oh, you know Roland?
He's my mentor. I'm trying to make my way toward him.
That bastard. He still owes me a drink from the last time we performed together.
Well, hopefully.
Love to get his ass back to Idrish again.
It's been a very long time I've been able to see him.
Probably sooner than me, though. I haven't seen that guy in the better of half of a decade.
Most likely.
Kika, he was the one who showed me Atharia in the first place.
Oh. Seems that he shows me experience.
You know us bards. We always seem attracted to people, similar to us.
Yeah.
You always gotta love a good time. Wouldn't you agree, my friend?
A good time is always.
It's never far when we're around.
Yeah.
And so basically, you guys take the time to get pretty drunk. He has a lot of alcohol. You'll notice that very quickly.
Blue's going to abuse the fact that there's alcohol.
And I will let that go as the day progresses. But before you leave, for the night, he does hand you a flask. Take this with you. Make sure you have some sweet valor in your life. You never know, it might come in handy.
Thank you.
And you may write in your inventory that you have an Idrish flask filled with sweet valor.
How many sweet valor does it have?
Essentially, if you ration it properly, you have 3 uses of sweet. You have 3 uses of sweet valor.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. And you also now have
Blue gets a flask.
and now you also have a flask with the symbol of Idrish on it. Which, in case you're curious, the symbol of Idrish is a bit strange than you remember. It seems to be a symbol of a bear, and right behind it you see the symbol of an elk. Kind of like back to back.
Nice. Thank you.
And no problem. And while you're here, don't be a stranger. I could always use a friend. But business calls, unfortunately, and I have a lot of paperwork to take care of. You understand.
Yeah.
The not fun half of being barred.
Paperwork is always fun. Sarcasm.
Sarcasm. But in that case, Blue, I assume at this point with him playing and drinking, I assume until the late night he goes to pass out.
Yes.
All right. And it is up to you as a player to determine how happy Blue is to have had a moment's respite.
Blue is as happy as he has Solomon. He's happy.
All right. With that being said, Garnan. Garnan?
Ralph's fucking dead.
Did Ralph pass out on us?
50-50.
Hold on.
Went to unmute and accidentally deafened. Yeah, I thinking. Oh no, yeah, he might be lost track of time playing Horizon.
You can also pass out playing games.
True.
Should we tag him?
I tagged him twice, and
Yeah,
Blue tagged him just now after me.
You don't need to spam. Spamming is rude.
But I say don't spam. Let's just see if he responds.
Well, I mean,
Spamming is rude.
Let's just see if he responds.
kinda need him.
I know this happens from time to time. I don't blame him. It's a new game.
Should we also try to get Belwraith back? I mean, not Belwraith. Mora back.
I don't.
He's not even.
Belwraith back.
But,
I'm sorry. I meant Mora, but my brain saw you, and brain went Belwraith.
But I say,
His dad's house.
considering-
He's not getting it back.
Oh,
yeah,
so
considering he's at his dad's house, he's probably exhausted. I basically say with this, considering my knowledge on, how Henrik is played, Herma's probably gonna have Henrik focus on like what he can do with the plague and and probably checking some notes between him and Symbol, trying to see what he can find out about it, and probably working on some kind of solvent or anti-agent or something that would be able to help against it.
Loving
All
his
right.
axe.
Exactly, and that'll probably be a side thing I do with him, since he seems to have passed out. However, I know Ralph really wanted to do a part, but if he's passed out, I mean,
Yeah, we can.
Hmm.
We don't really have enough people to carry on, in my opinion. It's up to other people. However, I do have a thing that came to mind.
but I say, well, since we're waiting on Ralph to see if he responds, but I say
We really don't, because Blue is dead.
Blue's actually quitting, or
I don't know.
No, I don't think he's quitting. I don't think so, anyways.
there he is. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I guess Discord's being fucky.
But
Sorry,
I
funky. I meant.
look at something.
Oh, all right.
But since we're waiting on Ralph, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna DM him. I'm gonna see if he responds. But you said there was something you wanted to do, Belwraith.
Yeah, just something that came to mind real quick.
Yeah.
Would I be able to find um it was one of those like heads. Um the woman who sat in the middle, I believe.
Oh, you're looking to talk with, find out more about Ophelia.
I think so.
Ophelia is the elven woman, right?
Yes, she
Mhm.
is the Ophelia the
Just
Watcher
making sure.
is the elven woman that was in the room.
Cool.
You were looking to find her? Or
Yes. Yes I am.
all right. You take a little bit of time. It doesn't seem to take too long until eventually you're brought. You meet up with a. You actually meet up with another woman, an elvish woman, very young, probably by in elvish terms, early to mid 20s. So you probably
2
assume.
centuries.
I was about to say around 2 centuries, essentially.
Check.
You watch. She seems. Her skin seems to be a little bit more golden. Going into a bit of pale. And you see markings going up her arms. Dressed in like kind of a blackish leather armor with long silver hair. She looks
It's random NPC if you like.
she looks at you and goes, "May I help you?"
Before I answer that, I would like to make a roll to see if I can identify the markings on her arms.
Absolutely. In this case, it would be a history check.
Oh, good. She's a
Her
Nazi.
voice sounds mean.
17?
With a 17, you would know with elves, markings are very rare. It's not something they do very often. Typically, it's someone born of a specific bloodline that they would do the markings. She has some features of that of a high elf, like a sun elf, but based on her palish skin, like mixed with her gold with some of the gold hue, you feel more confident that she is an Eladrin, a like a higher upper crust. Like basically, if I had to explain it, Eladrin are more like higher
A
upper.
kind of elf?
Yeah, they're like the elves above elves. They're kind of normally very snooty and very like, I am better than you because I am pure blood. But she looks at you. She looks at you and she doesn't seem to be holding herself in like an arrogant light. She just looks at you like, yes.
Yeah. Valor has just a resting face like that, of an like resting arrogant face.
I have a pleasant resting bitch face, thank you.
Um. Oh, I can't remember her name already.
You're
Ophelia Mordoon.
no, not Ophelia Mardoon. That's Ophelia, not Ophelia.
Blue is trying to mess us up.
No, he's making a Critical Role reference, and no, Ophelia is.
I actually don't remember where that name was from. It came to my mind, so I said.
Ophelia Mardoon is the friend of the gentleman up in Shady Creek Run. She was a contact that the Mighty Nine was sent to go find in Shady Creek.
That is this crazy obscure reference.
I only know about that stuff because I love D&D and I do well memorizing stuff.
It popped into my head, so I said it.
So Ophelia or Ophelia?
It's Ophelia.
Okay. I'm looking for Ophelia.
I will say, however, the woman that you're looking at right now is not Ophelia. Ophelia, you remember when you talked with her? She is definitely a high elf.
Yeah.
This individual looks like this individual is an Eladrin, very similar to a high elf, except for a high elf is technically not as pure blood as an Eladrin is typically.
It's like 75, 100%. That's the difference.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the way most elves look at it is You're 50% if you're a half elf. You're like 75% if you are a wood elf, or you're like a wood elf or a moon elf. High elves think of themselves higher than all the others, and they're like 90%. Eladrin are like 100% born of the Fae.
Yeah. Okay. Belwraith will look her in the eyes and say, I'm looking for Ophelia. In
Oh.
that tone.
Oh, you are looking for my. You are looking for my patron, the Ophelia the Watcher.
Yes, but you might also be able to answer the same questions. I'm
Abs-
not sure.
Absolutely. You are one of the Solaires, if I heard correctly.
I suppose so.
A pleasure to meet you. My name is Shiva, the Shadow Stalker of Lady Ophelia.
Uh, anyways. Not introduce
Wow.
yourself.
Wow. So strong start, Belray. Strong start.
Always.
Always.
I had questions about the trials.
Oh, absolutely. What can I answer? What questions do you have?
What do they entail exactly? Specifically, the trial of combat and the trial of shadows.
Well, the Trial of Shadows is testing your ability to be able to go from place to place without being seen or heard. The ability to complete this trial, you need to be able to offset a specific amount of either terrain, specific, a what was to be the prophet? You see her say something in a language you don't understand, and it's almost as if she's trying to find the right word. It's kind of like somebody who English is their second language, so they say something in Spanish to try to figure out how they would say it in English.
I speak Abyssal, Common, and Infernal. Would it be any of those languages?
It is not.
Okay. I was a shot in the dark.
Hey, always worth a shot, and it's never a problem if you question whether or not you understand. But she looks
It was Sylvan, wasn't it?
I am not at league to answer that question.
Is it
That's
so?
But she looks at you and goes, they are typically challenges of not just of terrain, of various different items that you may need to sneak through. What were the obstacles? There we go. That was the term. And also trying to maybe even need to sneak past individuals or creatures. Quite the challenge. I had to go through it myself.
And the trial of combat.
The trial of combat is testing one's ability to adapt on the battlefield. You will be facing a creature or creatures. I'm not quite certain. It's different every time. And you need to adapt to the battle for your surroundings, as the battle may shift depending on the situation. Unfortunately, again, most of these trials are different depending on who's doing it. I don't know the full details, as mine was different than True Waves, and True Waves was different than Dante's.
I see. I was just trying to gather a little bit of information. If they're all different, that is good to know.
A wise decision to try to get as much information as you can. Anything else?
My name is Belwraith, by the way.
A pleasure to meet you, Belwraith.
And you are?
Out of character.
Yes?
I can't remember the other trial.
The last trial is the trial of navigation.
Navigation. That one, yeah, that one's why I didn't think of it. I didn't remember it because
It's all good.
Yes. That is all. Thank you for answering my questions.
Absolutely. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask anyone around you. Most of us are willing to speak.
He'll nod and then return to his quarters.
All right, and return to your quarters to get some rest, take some time to read, or...
He will rest.
All right.
Why is Dante so bad compared to the other two?
Well, the thing is, I mean, you look at True Wave, she was out on the field. You guys actually got to see more of, like, what True Wave was about. Shiva is somebody who seems more, as an elf, more upscale and more refined, at least to what you can tell. But Dante is human. Dante, you haven't seen in action, you haven't seen anything he can do, and he is Raphael's student, essentially. Tiny, you would know from spending time with Raphael. Shadow Stalkers are essentially the second in commands of the Tribunal. If something were to happen to a member of the Tribunal, a Shadow Stalker would take their place.
You're gonna kill Raphael now, aren't you?
No. It's not the plan anyways. But you never know.
I'm Raphael.
No, I'm Raphael!
And
Ooh,
then
yeah, but-
Michelangelo, and then Leonardo.
You bastard. Turtle power.
True Wave and the Eladrin seemed so cool. Then there was
And then there's Dante, the human.
then there's Dante the human who was sitting in the corner clapping like a child.
Well, he's one. From what you can tell about Dante, he is like a military person. He responds to Raphael almost as if like an order is being sent, and he treats it as if an order is being sent. You only know Dante from this instance. At least with Shiva, there's probably a story there. Each of these characters have a story. I take the time to write the stories for all these characters.
Yeah!
I'll ask Dante tomorrow in game, and then maybe get drunk again.
Absolutely. For the sake of brevity, since apparently we lost Walf.
Yeah.
We lost him. I don't know where the fuck he went.
He's playing Horizon.
He probably passed out because I would have thought that even if he was playing the game, he would have checked by now.
No, I
'Cause
mean,
it's been almost an hour since
Yeah, and we've said his name more than a couple of times.
and added him.
I better say between being added and I DM'd him to see if he would respond, and nothing. So he
And
chose.
it's not like he's muted, so he would be hearing us.
It is
Not muted, disturbed.
all
I mean-
asleep games.
Yeah, he's probably really into his game right now. Probably a boss fight or something. I don't know. Or he could be passed out.
It's Horizon.
I prefer
which
to think-
forces into it.
I'd like to think he passed out rather than
Hey.
that because it's been a while, so you can always pause the game.
True. It is true. Horizon is a game you can pause. And also, Tiny, what does that mean? I fucking love Horizon.
Yes, that's what I was saying. It's a good game. You get sucked into it.
It really is a good game. I can't wait to play Forbidden West myself. I just need... I got priorities. But,
Understandable.
But for the sake of brevity, I will say Alosa is sleeping through the night, and Garnan doesn't leave her side. So,
Yeah.
you guys don't see Garnan at all. However, if anybody chooses to go find Bimp or Knackle, they seem to be Bimp, Knackle, and Karik. Well, Karik is taking the time to train in the training room.
Oh, cool.
So you see him in there, and you, about to say, for you, Kazir, because your passive perception is really high, because how high your perception check is in general, you can this is one of the first times you get to see Kark go all out in a training session. And yeah, his athletical abilities, his ability to go from place to place with incredible speeds is high. He is, as much as he is a dum-dum, he definitely is someone who you wouldn't believe is as dumb as he is. he is incredibly fast and trained. His swords hit marks that most people are struggling with. He is definitely a well-trained individual.
He's a good boy.
Lick.
And while you are training, you actually roll a perception check.
All right.
I would actually.
Oops, wrong way. Fuck.
God.
Avery hates me.
I take all the luck. It's mine. This.
I rolled a 1, so 1 plus 9, 10.
Was that a natural one?
It was
Yeah.
a natural one.
Okay. Well, you know what?
I hate you, Avery. Every roll you've today is shit from you.
Then I can explain it like this. And as you are climbing one of the walls, and you kind of take a moment to look out at the field, you watch as Karek. You watch as Karek is kind of focusing on his blade, and you watch as he kind of focuses at what appears to be like a climbing wall. Like
I get what you mean.
You know how in a training field you would climb up, you would have to climb up a straight wall, go over it, and to get to the other side.
Yeah.
As you kind of look at him and you're kind of like, what is he doing? You kind of get something in your eye and you're like, gah, fuck, shit. And you kind of rub your eyes and then you look and he's on the other side. Like,
holy shit.
Like, you only looked away for about 5 seconds. There's no way he should have been able to get from one side to the other in that time. But you don't know how he did it.
He's hanging, bro.
Damn.
He's a min-maxer like me.
Yeah.
Oh,
ow.
I did think of another thing that I would like to do. And a good point is, I'm not sure if I'd be interrupting right now or not.
I mean, this would have been at the same. Karek would have been doing this on the same day that you guys were doing your stuff. Bimp and Knackle would not have left film inside.
It was like a day before everyone else.
Yeah. Better say. So while this is going on, Belraith, because you've done so little today, because you've done a commune, you've been watching Kazir, and you've talked with Shiva. Is there anything else you'd like to do before resting for the night?
I would like to cast Sending.
Oh, and who are you casting Sending to?
Don't know. Like, I know I wanna. It's one of two people, and one of them's a really bad idea.
Oh.
And the other one's also a really bad idea.
Oh.
It's just bad ideas.
So basically, I will ask you as a GM, do you want to do this, or would you rather not do this?
I mean, as a player, I want to do this. As Belwraith, I do not want to do this.
player character conflict, I understand.
Roll a D100 to see if Valorith would.
Yeah.
Even or odd?
Above 50, he would. Below 50, he's not interested.
Alright, well, he's doing it.
Alright.
I'm going to cast Sending. And I'm going to send a message to my sister.
Oh.
Hooray.
Belraith has a sister?
Yes.
Well, yeah, duh. But
there's a backstory.
Interesting.
And what is your message? Would you like that to be private, or would you like that to be out in the open?
These guys are pretty good for not metagaming, so I'll keep it in the open.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you.
The message will be. check
One.
notes. Where is our thing?
Well,
There
I'm
it is.
pulling it up myself as well.
Yuffie. It has been a long time, and I am sorry. How are you?
All right. You do have 25 words. So if I remember correctly, that was definitely under 25. Is you'd like to cut the message off there?
Yeah. He wants to talk to her, but isn't entirely sure what to say.
Mm-hmm. You hear nothing for some time. A few minutes pass. 10 minutes pass. But the moment it gets close to a half hour, you hear a response. Balwraith, it's been some time. I don't know if I should be talking to you. But things have been good. Kind of crazy here. Wish I could see you.
Oh, I'm going to make that happen, my young sister.
I have our notes pulled up. Yes, and yes, does count as a word.
Yeah. I am not casting it again quite yet.
I love how it just says, that's word 25.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Oh man, I keep on getting body twitches. Because I'm tired, and I've done so much today.
Tell your body to stop twitching.
Yeah, I'm trying
Slap
to.
it.
Do the twitch.
I did that, it's done like a timpani going on and getting hit. You wouldn't want that. I'll cast Sending again.
Okay, and two.
I cannot cast a spell again. Please tell me everything that you can. I've missed you and brother. Please. I hope you don't hate me.
Time passes. But a bit of a faster response this time in comparison to the last. Let me pull up I gotta pull up my papers.
Man.
Do.
Now you're making me want to
Oh,
cast.
God.
Gotta pull up my Belray papers.
Now you're making me want to cast Sending on
Your parents say, fuck you, Dad.
on the yes on the test.
Hey Dad,
Just
fuck
randomly,
you!
Like once a day, every day, same hour.
No, like 6 a.m. Dad's still sleeping, getting beauty sleep. I cast Sending.
What
What do you
is
say?
the rule on that? Like, if someone sleep, do they get woken up, or is
Yep.
it like?
They will get the message whether they are asleep or not, and they will be inserted into their mind so they can't ignore it.
That's great.
You can scream as loud as you can right into their brain.
That's lovely.
God almighty,
No.
that would be hell.
No, Tiny. Let's be real here for a moment. Let's truly be real here for a moment. If you really want to fuck with your dad, you gotta cast Dream on him.
Blue's gonna get that spell.
You gotta get once you get to a higher level, just cast Dream on him. You can go in, enter his dreams, and cause massive nightmares.
Yeah, that's the way to be evil.
No, Stray. He's not joking.
Like,
Dream,
like-
I know. I know.
Like, you know what happened to Garnan when Garland
Yeah.
and Vector entered his dream? Yeah, that is the dream spell.
Yeah, I could guess that.
It is hilarious. But you hear it doesn't take you. It doesn't. It was about a half hour last time. This takes less. She responds in less than 10 minutes. I've never hated you, brother. I'm just confused. Why did you do the things you did? What happened? The church won't talk about it. Things are weird here in Padstow.
Oh shit. I have to.
I mean, they won't even talk about the... And the message ends. 25 words.
She doesn't know that it's limited words.
She's not a spellcaster. She doesn't.
Oh.
She doesn't know the limit.
She's like 5.
We never actually well, no, she's not 5. She has a profession and everything. So she's
probably 30.
How old do you think Belwraith is?
I don't know.
That's good for
I
them.
don't know.
I would, you know.
Tieflings age at the same rate as humans.
Oh, I was thinking, human years then.
Yeah,
He's like 25.
No, Valor.
I meant
Probably in his later 30s, I think.
Oh, so she would probably be like mid-20s, late 20s.
Based on where his standing was in the church.
in human years. Yeah. See, I was right.
Based on where his standing was in the church, he'd realistically be even older than that, but I don't really want him to be.
No, it wouldn't. I mean, when you work in the church and everything, you were set up. The way your backstory was set, you were set up to do what you were supposed to do. But those people are typically chosen at young ages to be groomed and set up for it.
Yeah.
So you could still be as young as you want to be. I mean, you could be in your early 30s if you wanted to. That's something we never went into full depth with, Belwraith.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that. So yeah, I'd say he's in his late 30s.
Still young.
Yeah. I DM'd you a message if you could respond to that.
Absolutely.
I have flattened the egg.
That sounds kind of weird if you don't realize what it's about.
It is completely up to you, the answer to that question.
Yep. I actually have notes for this. Hold on.
Flatten the egg.
Gotta go through my notes. Let's see here.
You're an egghead. Classic comedy.
Ha. Comedy.
I am a comedian. Comedy.
Dun, dun, da, da, da.
Let's see here. Let's go into my list of pretentious names because we're going into church territory. So
Yeah.
Oh no.
my list of pretentious names because typically that is what the church is. That and royalty.
Yep. That's fair.
My royalty list is also filled with pretentious names. I mean, just look at Blue's parents.
Good point.
Jerry
The most
Seinfeld
pretentious
blew.
names you could.
Hey, let's be honest here. Those were the most adequate names.
It was.
I mean, it's kind of a pretentious name too. So
So let me pull
You know-
some.
Salvador and Vittoria.
Yep.
Not Victoria. Vittoria.
Yeah, Victoria and Salvador.
this is.
Oh,
But let's see here.
Oh.
As far as my church, let's take a look here. Let's see here. We got followers, churchgoers. We have the bishops. We have the archbishop. And I'm still trying to.
Archbishop.
Hey, the archbishop is a very important position. They are essentially one of the leads of the church, but it's the cardinal that makes the decisions. However, I don't know. We didn't talk about this because I didn't want to just start throwing things in there. Typically, a cardinal is the head of a religion. But I believe what I decided, because there is a cardinal, he or she would be the person you're referring to be taking up the position would be the arch cardinal, the head of the church.
I
Because
only know
the Pope has
like
tried.
church rankings from a video that I watched a long time ago,
Because
where it basically said bishop or pope, cardinal, bishop. That's like the top 3.
Absolutely, and typically you're right. The Pope would be the head, but unfortunately, the Pope is also like a thing specifically set into the church, the Christian church. So I'm just going to put arch cardinal.
All right,
Hey,
so that's
Catholic, not Christian.
or then.
Oh, Catholic is part of the Christian religion.
No, Christian is part of Catholic.
yeah. I might be wrong. I think Catholics
It's
don't
weird.
believe in Jesus, but I might
Yeah,
be wrong.
you are correct. Catholic, Protestant, but say Lutheran, all of them are part of the Christian belief. But as a let's not go into specifics with that, because that is a conversation that I will. That is something. If this gets found, I will get fucking roasted for. So let's not go into this.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Same with politics. I will get fucking roasted. So let's not.
Never mess with politics or religion.
But do mess with Russia. Russia is fun to mess with. Right, Ukraine?
Oh, please don't.
Oh God.
Oh, God.
We can call him Jerry Seinfeld. That is the arch cardinal.
That would be hilarious.
That made me laugh harder than it should.
What's the deal with Valor?
I can see too many jokes coming from that. What's the deal with gnomes?
Have you ever seen?
God.
Have you ever seen a Netflix original called "Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee"?
No, I didn't.
It's leaded by Jerry Seinfeld.
Cool.
It's a really good show.
Funny.
I'll look
It
into it.
is.
It's really nice for like just background shit.
Indeed. This is, honestly, I am not complaining about tonight because it's nice and chill.
Yeah.
Blue got, hold on. Blue got to learn the entirety of
Yeah.
get rid of names. I am messed up right now.
But I
Such
say,
a man.
I knew you would take to Raphael quite well.
Yes. Blue got to learn the entirety of Raphael's backstory without saying a word.
Okay. I am going to send my next message, and I can use 4th level spells for 3rd level spells, right?
That is correct. You can cast any spell that is lower in a higher slot. You just can't cast anything from a higher slot from a higher spell in a lower slot.
Yes.
You've already used communion.
Yeah, I have done communion. Um, that's in the morning. I'm going to cast sending again. When you oh, you cut off towards the end. Um, you can only respond with 25 words.
Correct.
This is the message. Um,
Silence.
He tried to cast sending, and someone cast silence.
The sound of silence.
God. I was listening to that song earlier.
It's a
Hold
nice
on.
one.
Yeah, Winter.
Yes.
I beat the Orphan of Cause when listening to that song.
Nice. Nice.
Whenever I fight a boss, I listen to music so I can focus with that being drowning out everything in the background.
But
Cupcake.
but I say, I mean, we get
I
the
got a cupcake.
nice. I'll have to rename this episode because I thought we were gonna get into the Shadow Trials and everything, but because
Yeah,
of,
same.
because of backstories and all that stuff, and people wanting to get some stuff in. But I say, can't blame you. Can't blame anybody whatsoever because you never
Nope.
know.
Not at all. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Indeed. But I say, but I mean, I hope everyone's still having fun though with this session. It's
Yeah,
definitely
it's been good.
either way, it's still a heartfelt session to me.
Yeah.
Again, I knew that Blue would really take to Raphael. Considering who Raphael is as a person. It was just up to you guys to actually want to
oh
learn
my
about
god,
them.
have I been muted this entire time?
Yep.
Yep.
Did you hear my response? Did you hear my
Nope.
message?
You literally muted as soon as you were going to say, "This is my message." And then it was
Damn it!
silence.
That's unfortunate. That's why I was like, what the fuck is going on, people? I was getting
It actually didn't show a mute icon on my end, by the way.
yeah,
It was probably your microphone that muted.
Oh. Yeah.
nah, my headphone jack, it's very loose. So
Oh.
it's a sweet spot where I can unplug it and I still get audio, but I can't give any sound.
Yeah, I've had that problem happen before.
I will respond. You cut off towards the end. You can only respond in 25 words.
Correct.
No, that's his message.
Yeah, 25 words is how many words you get, and then at 25 you get cut off.
No, Winter. He is saying that to his sister.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
When she spoke to you, of when she was trying to say that things were different in Padmost, she went to talk about she was saying that she doesn't even know what's going on with, and then it cut off because it hit 25 words.
Yes.
Yes.
Casting sending, telling his
Where's
sister,
at now?
then rules.
Ah, okay. So you're resending a message, and you're stating that, hey, this is the spell. It's 25 words. What were you saying?
You cut off what is going on with who. You can only respond holding the message. Is 25 one word or two?
25 is, I would say because, one word, because you were saying 25.
Okay. Up for debate.
Yeah, up for debate. People can at me if they don't like it.
Yeah. I'd say it's one word because it is, 25 one word, not 20 and 5, which would
If
be
you
really
don't
weird
like
to
it,
say.
you can take a big ol'.
Exactly.
Carrying on,
My
you
wayward
can
son.
only respond with 25 words.
Pardon me.
Um, do not trust Jahath.
Mm-hmm. All right.
This is being spoken in Abyssal. Not Abyssal, Infernal.
All right. So,
And,
if per se something were to this message were somehow to be intercepted, the only person who would understand is you, you and your sister.
and any tieflings.
Yeah. Any other tieflings or people who speak the devil's tongue. Hi, kitten. Come here.
Devil's tongues.
God, I'm trying to be serious and trying to have a moment, and that's when my kitten's like, "No, I want attention."
Cute.
Give me attention, human. Now's the time. If you
Gotta
don't, you'll lose
Now
it.
me.
gotta follow in Jacob's path and open the Black Cat Tavern. But it really takes no time at all. The first message took like a half hour for a response. The second message took like 10 minutes. This takes like 3.
Ooh, she's getting the hang of it.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Things are weird in Padmost. Jahath does not come out often. Whispers and rumors. But there is a lot of questions. Exactly 25 words.
I counted 27, but I'm not complaining.
I was counting them as I was speaking them. 25.
Yep.
But yes. That is the response you get.
Can I have 3 more. I am going to cast again. Please tell me everything. I only have 2 more casts of this spell before I will have to go again for 1 day.
Okay. The response is within a minute. Like she's it seems she's thinking hard about exactly which words to use. Jahath rarely comes out anymore. Dathana is the one who speaks. Ralron preaches that nothing is wrong. But most of us are worried. Your thoughts?
I will be returning home as soon as I can. I will have black skin. My horns will be tipped golden. Um, if you see me, let me come to you. I hope to see you soon.
Literally within seconds of it. Stay safe, my brother. I worry for you. Things are not the same as they were when you left. Also, beware the ones. Black splotches.
Beware the ones black splotches. Hold up. I heard.
Oh,
Hold
shit.
up. Who?
Oh.
Then we met someone like this session with black splotches.
Not this session.
Not this session, but
The abyssal plague is black splotches.
Those are the
Oh,
signs of the
shit,
abyssal plague.
So it's okay.
Yeah,
I
that's-
am immediately going to cast again and cast to Mary.
okay.
His voice is going to sound a lot more shaken and worried than she has. Firstly, that I can do, and secondly, that she has ever heard, and like anyone has ever told. The plague has gone to my home. Please send people quickly. I can't remember what it was called. Pat.
This is something that I forgot to mention to you. Padstow.
Patstow.
Yep, it is the religious capital of Atharia.
Please send people to Patstow. It is spread there.
Again, this a response within a minute. You hear. I didn't know that it spread that quickly. We'll send agents out there. Should be there within a day, since we have a circle there.
I have no spell slots.
Your spell slots are gone. You are spell slotless, Belwraith.
I have first and second level, and that is it.
Man.
You cast sending 5 times and cast commune.
Well, you know Blue has sending. You could talk to him.
Even Belray likes his privacy.
Yeah, I was trying to see with Mary. That's Blue's. That's Blue's. Oh God. And I think I dropped. Okay. Hi. I'm living.
That was a lot more than I intended, but
Yeah, you never thought about messaging your family before.
I have thought about it. It was just that Belwraith and myself thought he was a lot more
Huh?
exiled and like disowned. That's why he doesn't give his last name.
But at the same time, that's to the community of the church and probably your parents. Your sister's a different story.
Yeah.
Based on your backstory, you picked the one person that was most likely going to respond to you. Especially someone who's probably going to be the most out of the loop. She knows some things. She doesn't know a lot.
Makes sense.
I would like
To
talk
rage.
to Foldier, I think.
Who?
Yeah, Foldier. I'd like to talk to Foldier.
Oh.
To a full deer? Alright. So you focus inwards. And you concentrate. It takes a minute because you're not used to it. You're not used to... It's not normally you reaching to them. It's normally them reaching to you. So this is definitely a new experience for you. When suddenly you hear a voice going, "Hello, are you wishing to speak to me?"
I will need your help. Not now, but soon.
Whoa. Oh, why so, jittery? It's, not like you, friend. What's wrong?
My home and my family is in trouble. I will not be welcome back. When I return, I will need access to spells that I cannot learn through normal means. Will you be able to offer them?
Well, all you have to do is channel my divinity. I'd be more than happy to help you. You almost feel like a grin right underneath yours. You don't ask for my help very often. And there's a reason for it. You hear a second voice in your head. What's going on?
The plague has spread home.
This is quite troublesome. It could definitely become such an issue if we allow it to, but it still sounds like a good time.
There's more than that.
Oh?
My former church, the Church of Tyr, seems to have closed its doors to the public.
Fascinating. That typically doesn't happen. Tyr is a well-revered god.
I don't really know if gods can talk to each other, or how simple it is if they can.
Ooh, you kind of hear Voldir kind of like, awkward. We don't really talk to each other per se. We more, we have agents for that, if that makes sense. Kind of like you. We speak through our disciples and our children, and they typically speak on our behalf. We don't normally speak with each other. Communion is not exactly a two-way street.
It wouldn't be that simple.
If it were, there would be a lot less problems.
I suppose Foldier again would be helpful for this.
Well, you see, my trickery and my abilities are, if you're trying to, see on the down low, is exactly the kind of abilities you need.
Can you send someone into the church to find what is happening?
Ooh. I might have to think on that one.
That may not be in your domain. If that is the case, I understand.
I can get you into the city with not too much of an issue. And as far as sneaking around with not being suspected, I'm pretty good at that too. As far as getting into places, let me get back to you on that. I may have an idea. But, if you don't mind, I might dabble a little bit in, some of your recollections whenever you think of the church.
How nod. Ian, you may be able to help in a less deceitful manner. Could you send someone to do the same, but less more diplomatic.
I can't do too much, but I still have a strong following around the area. I can always speak with another disciple. Maybe I can do something, but I make no promises, and if someone gives too much issues, don't forget to channel you my divinity. Maybe I can help you with a little bit more authoritative measures.
Thank you. Both of you.
We are in this as much as you are, Belwraith. Remember, we may have... You shush you. What was that? Don't pay attention. Static.
Oh, songs of blues songs haunt my mind just as much as you two do.
We started with you with a broken mind, but we're in this as much as you are. Exactly, friend. I mean, could you imagine how boring our lives would be? How much more garish it would be if we could just intermingle with the rest of us, with the rest of them. But without you, we would have been more stationary. Consider it helping a friend.
He'll exit the trance at that point,
All right.
and I think that is all.
And as you come out of it, you feel a little trickle of blood go down your nose.
He won't like.
As you have put so much strain on your mind, casting so many spells, and then entering the Mind Palace.
Yeah. He won't wipe it. It's fine.
Psychic damage.
Not even psychic damage, more like when you put that much strain on your body. It's more like the body's natural reaction of like, okay, you've done a lot here,
Chill
bud.
out.
Yeah, you need to chill.
Chill out.
If there was anyone nearby, they could hear the cogs in his brain.
Just
Oh, I'm sure there was. He'll like open the door. There's someone like putting their ear to the door.
you just open the door and someone is just like, I was looking for my keys.
I'm sure.
Is this not the bathroom? I could have sworn it was the bathroom. And you just look at him like,
It's like going down over his chin.
you just look over at your chamber pot and back at him and go like, shut the fuck up. Don't worry, I'll help you use the bathroom. Touch his neck, cast inflict wounds. There you go, you shit yourself. You're welcome. There's your bowel movement.
Oh.
Had a good breakfast, had a good BM.
Had a very lovely inflict wounds.
Exactly. I better not be bad news. I don't want any bad news right now. It's been a good day. I mean, I woke up, I had a good night's sleep, had a good BM. So what is it that you need to tell me? Well, it's actually bad news. I knew it! That is a reference that is a reference I don't think anyone's going to get.
I feel like I should get that from something. An old movie.
It is an older movie. It is I got it. Maybe if you tell me the bad news in a good way.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
There you go.
As soon as you said that.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. If I don't.
Full of obscure references today.
I've watched that movie.
It's such a good movie.
Nice.
Excuse me, sir. I know this is a bit forward of me, but wasn't your mole on the other side of your face? I have a mole.
I love that stupid show.
God, they picked the perfect person to play Prince John. He is
Agreed.
not a good Prince John at all.
I agree.
It's just like That's a wild pig. That's a wild boar.
Or
Funny! Very amusing.
that tone of voice is just
Yeah, it's so good. Just
perfect as a satire Robin Hood.
check please. Table 1. I mean, he sums up. He basically sums up medieval life in general. Just like, everyone, come all to tell everyone far and near and far. A little redundant, right? What was that? Nothing. Everyone, there's going to be a wedding tomorrow, or a hanging. Either way, it's gonna be a party.
I know.
It's
The last line. It's good to be the king.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm about to say it sums up medieval lifetime in general. It's like there's gonna be a wedding or a hanging. Either way, it's gonna be a good time.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, pretty much. Welcome to medieval life. It's what.
Gosh, things I like to do now.
Thank God D&D puts a positive spin on some of that stuff. Could you imagine?
Oh yeah. I hear you.
God, it would be like every person is just like, oh my God, did you know this person's getting hanged? Let's go watch.
Let's go watch.
Yeah, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Break your waffles.
Exactly. But with that being,
some things I like to.
All right, there's some things you want to take care of, Blue.
There's some things I'd like to take care of.
All right, what would you like to take care of?
First off, I need to find Bimp to get my Stone of Silence.
Absolutely. So after
He can't help you much.
after you've been drinking for so long, you haven't been like drinking to the intention of getting drunk. You're just buzzed. Like you were having a good time.
No, this would be the day.
The morning after.
Yeah, the morning after.
All right, I mean, again, you weren't drinking to the point of, like, I'm gonna get fucking wrecked drunk, so you're not waking up with a massive hangover. You are kind of hurting in the head a little bit, though.
In that case, our big long rest.
I would say, with a night's full rest, everybody would wake up at dawn. Again, I'm gonna say, because Walf either passed out or is playing a game, because he is either passing or playing a game, I would say that Alosa would be resting, and Garnet would not leave her side.
Just elsewhere, she is.
So he does need to sleep.
But Blue,
Hello.
as you wake up and you go to go to Bimp and Knackle, you notice in the room, you do see Karik passed out in a bed, in a kind of a cottage bed. Oh no, it's a bed. But I say they would have provided beds for all of you guys. He passed out in a bed nearby. You see Karik sleeping, but close by, and he is drenched in sweat. He looks like he is hurting, like muscles are tense and sore. But
His ear's gonna wake up in pain.
No, pretty much, yeah. But I mean, have you ever woken up after doing like a full gym workout?
Yes.
I haven't in a while.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of work, you wake up sore the next day.
I miss hitting the break room. I miss hitting the weight room all the time.
I'm supposed to have weight class next year.
It feels good to it feels so good to work out all the muscles and everything.
I gotta get
Like what
plus
people
one
tell
bicep.
you, cardio is important.
Get this.
Cardio is very good for you.
Yep.
I got the -1 biceps.
I feel that.
Very recently, I found my max deadlift was 250 pounds.
Nice.
Just subtle brag. Although I'm gonna brag for my friend. His max deadlift I can't remember what it was, but it was over 500 pounds.
Jesus.
It was
Holy
over 500 pounds, and it was enough weight to bend the bar.
Hell yeah. Strong friend.
He could deadlift 5 of me.
And just
Yeah.
Okay.
just picture 5 tinies all hanging on each side.
yeah.
King of the world. Ah! But
That's great. I love him.
but Blue, as you walk into the room, you see Karik is passed out. You see Philman is set up, and more color is returning to his scales. But you see an exhausted Bimp. Like, you see bags under her eyes, and you see Knackle, who is kind of like with her and like not leaving her side, as they are still kind of working on. They were kind of working on Philman, just making sure that his vitals are good and. Oh, hey, Blue, how's it going?
Hey Ben, you should probably get some sleep. You'll most likely be attending at least one of the trials tomorrow.
Absolutely, I will be. I've just been making sure that the medicine that they made for Philman was good and was going to take effect. And based on what I'm seeing so far, his response is very positive, and the color's already returning to his scales, and hopefully we'll get to see him come back to consciousness soon. But that, based on how long it takes the medicine to work, since Alosa is still asleep currently, it could still be another day or two before Philman's completely out of it. But I wanted to make sure that he wasn't gonna have an adverse effect. I have been reminding her that I don't need to sleep, and that I could watch him.
You're just very worried about her friends. Isn't that right?
Yeah, a lot's been happening, and I don't want any of you to get hurt. And my abilities are very handy when it comes to knowledge of things, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone is doing okay.
Well, your abilities won't be too helpful when you're passing out, so get some sleep.
Right.
But I came here to ask, could I have that stone of silence that I gave you?
Oh, yes. Speaking of, you watch as she reaches into her pocket, and you watch she pulls out a little box. If you open the box, the stone will activate, but while it's inside of this box, the stone only silences the box. So whenever you're ready to use the silence stone, or a stone of silence, you could just take it out of the box, and then you can throw it.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Not a problem. I've been doing some research and everything, trying to make some modifications and improvements on things.
Well, you need sleep. I will take the stone and the box. You need to get some sleep.
Knackle looks over at Bimp. I agree. You should get some sleep, Bimp. I will be here to watch Philman, as my 4 hours of rest have already been completed. Okay. I will get some rest. I'm just gonna be over here, as you see that there is a bed, an unoccupied bed, and she kind of just takes off her shoes. She's still kind of in her robes, but she like takes off her satchel, removes her book from her side. you watch as she pulls out, kind of empties out her coat pocket, and you see a bunny. You see a bunny with a horn on it, just kind of hanging out next to her, and you kind of just see her lay down.
Sleep well.
I worry about her sometimes.
She's a diligent worker, though
I
a bit too diligent.
agree. I worry about her physical side. Mentally, I am not worried. Bimp is an amazing person and is a natural caretaker. But her physical health, while my knowledge on it is not great, I know she needs to sleep. Thank you for your assistance.
You're welcome. I will see you later. Alright?
Absolutely. I will be here with Philman to make sure the medicine is doing its job.
Alright. See you later. Blue walks out.
Goodbye, Blue.
Okay, I got that.
All right.
I'm go. I'll go to a place that I could be a bit alone.
All right.
I can't go to the room since you can't cast spells in there. And I will cast sending.
I thought you could cast spells in there. I mean, didn't Belrace just do all his spells in his bedroom?
He didn't do it from his room, but from a private,
Oh.
a private room off to the side.
Oh, all right.
And a storage closet. That's his favorite place to be,
The best closet.
honestly. That's where all Belwraith's character development will happen, like from now on.
Beside the
find-
mop bucket.
Yeah,
In
like
the
if
in
he
the
ever
closet.
meets his family, it's gonna be in like this super public area. He'll grab them and drag them into a closet.
So now my question is, when is Belwraith going to come out of the closet?
Never. Never.
Never.
That made me laugh harder.
That door is locked and barred.
Never.
I am the bard.
You're,
Yeah, and you are also the bar.
you're just going to be Tom Cruise from that episode of South Park. It's like, I'm never coming out.
I remember that. So, that episode got a lot of backlash.
Oh, it did. It got so much backlash. But it's so funny.
I'm a cast sending.
All right, who are you casting it to?
I will give you one guess.
Dad, Mom, or Belrace? I mean, not Belrace. Mary.
Oh my
Why the
god.
hell-
Send it to Belwraith, just like in the other room. What you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
I
friend.
could use a message for that, but no. I'm gonna say hello to good old Salvador.
Oh boy, I have been practicing this voice. All right, what's your message?
That works. Dear Sal, hello. I have become famous, as you didn't expect. You've probably seen me around a bit. I'm spreading the good name of the Ward family. Though not in the way you like. How many words was that?
Oh boy, that was, hold on. About 16 words.
Okay. I'm not dead. Thanks for that, by the way. I'll be seeing you soon.
Oh,
Love,
casual.
Blue.
About to say, as you'd thanks for that. That's when the message cuts off.
Thanks for that.
You know what? Still has the same message.
Pretty
It
much.
has the same message.
It takes a while to get a response, but eventually you hear. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta step away from the microphone so I can get this.
Yeah, it's just 25. Like, times 25.
Hold on,
Oh.
hold on. I gotta loosen my lips.
Oh, shit. No, it's the, like, King, what's... Jar Jar Binks. The King Jar Jar Binks green dude looks like...
Oh! I remember... I haven't seen that in years, but... Why do I remember that thing? It looks like this!
Yeah.
Kinda.
You know what I'm talking about. I got one.
Why the hell do I remember that? But... God, that was like decades ago when I last saw that. Sorry.
Dear son, I'm pleased to hear that you are better than you've been. As far as your death, I apologize for the severity of it, but it was for the best. Your mother and I send you love. You hear some... Even though this is mentally, you hear some sarcasm there. Signed, Salvador.
Your death was for the best.
We talked about Salvador.
He sucks.
Love that guy. He's great.
Yeah, but I say he was in that one movie, right? Play Freebird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Salvador's terrible.
Yeah, we talked about him, like, legitimately. He, like, when we went, you asked, you were like, I asked you, how bad is he? And he's like, he's the worst. And I'm like, all right, he's the worst. So I made him the worst.
You asked me how bad he should be. I said go wild.
And I get...
Bo-Wraith will come out of his quarters around now looking tired. Because he never wiped his nose, so there's just, like, dried blood on his face.
Which, Blue, you would see that immediately.
Are you alright there? Mr. Broken... What?
Alright, why do you ask?
You're bleeding.
He touches his nose, nothing comes off, but apparently not. He'll sit down beside Blue.
Alright.
So, we need a bit of a plan for the trials. I already have an idea of who should join what.
I believe it's really down to Kazir, if he joins us anytime.
Which, at that time, Kazir, you wake up, you hurt. Everything is... life is pain.
My God. I think that came from his room. Is he?
Let's go check on him.
Because you have not been this sore since your original days training how to use that dagger, and how often you strained your hands trying to hold it while you were climbing.
I'm gonna knock hard on the door and try the knob.
Come in. He slowly sits up.
I already am.
Oh.
I cast spare the dying.
You focus that warm feeling out of your hands, but as it makes contact with Kazir, it just kind of fizzles, as the spell's requirements were not fulfilled.
Unbelievable. You're not dying. Get over yourself.
I know, but it feels like it. He kind of growls as he is sitting out of bed.
You're,
Would cure wounds be correct?
No.
he's not
Cure wounds would help.
He's just sore.
Yeah, Cure Wounds is there to help wounds. This is muscle pain. This is just this Belwraith. You would know with dealing with citizens from the city, and like just people going like, I need a cleric. It's like you're used to this. You're just used to like people. It's like it's a fucking back pain. You'll get over it. Take take some herbal medicine. You'll be fine.
Spare the dying thing was accurate.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like these people don't need. Those people didn't need medical assistance. They were fine. They just were in pain, which happens. You work hard, you're gonna get some muscle pain.
Yeah.
Cause they're here. This might help. I'm gonna give him a bottle of wine.
All right, you hand them a whole bottle, like.
It's 9 in the morning.
You don't care what time it is. It's not time for pain.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Thanks, Blue.
You're welcome.
We have to discuss, and your bedroom is, well, not the best place to discuss them.
It's the best place.
Well,
he'll close the door, and it works.
Door closes.
Kazir, I have an idea of who should join you in what trial.
Before anything else happens, he takes a shot of the wine, and leaves it.
Blood on Belwraith's face.
I'm gonna wipe the blood off. With my...
He'll push your hands away and like figure away from you. Don't touch me. I don't need your help.
Which Belwraith you watch as he pulls the little handkerchief away from your face, you see the blood on the handkerchief.
Okay. Shit, I don't have prestidigitation. Okay.
You're not a wizard. Nice try.
Can I cast Command on Blue?
I mean, you could try.
Try.
Do you know if I cast it on you?
He would know because it's a somatic component, and you are looking deliberately at them.
And it's charming. Would you like to try to charm a bard?
Yes. Wisdom save.
What
Not
type of
charisma.
save?
It's not charisma save, and I have not doubled down on it yet. Just give me a second.
Oh
Doesn't
boy.
say that you know, and the command word is like saying to do, right?
Hold on, let me pull up the spell. You're casting command.
Yeah.
Hold
Well,
on.
I'm thinking about it right now.
Well-
This is just a joke. This is.
Well, we're gonna see. Well, we'll see how far the joke goes. But let me pull up the spell real fast.
I won't. I probably won't.
I know, but it's still funny.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's just verbal.
Command.
Verbal.
It is still a verbal component. You would need to roll a. I would say if you don't want him to know, you would need to You would need to stealth in order to not be seen casting it.
I'm not going to. I just think it'd be funny to command him to stop.
Wait, wouldn't to command mean the person has to be able to hear you?
Understand you and
Yeah.
within 5 feet of each other.
Yeah. So basically, it would be pretty hard to stealth it when you would need to make sure he hears you. Is what I'm saying.
But I mean, if he's trying to tell him, to stop, I mean, technically, from an outsider
good point.
standpoint, as far as Blue would know, because he is right. There is nothing in there that says that it gives you away, but because it's a verbal component, I would say that he would still need to stealth it to make sure that nobody sees
Okay.
him cast it.
Understandable.
It's something arguable, and it would definitely vary from DM to DM.
Exactly, and the thing with command is that it's normally you have to like shout what you're trying to tell them what to do, but you could technically be quiet and cast command, Especially if you word it properly. However, I would say that if you're not careful, you could show your hand.
Oh, makes sense.
But with that being said,
He'll block him and offer his hand to take the handkerchief instead.
I give the handkerchief and sit on the bed.
He'll take it and wipe his face.
all right, and as you do so, you see what he's talking about. There was an okayish amount of blood right there. Basically, some blood must have just, to your knowledge, some blood just must have drained out of your nose. But it, like, as soon as it reached your lip, it stopped.
I overworked myself last night, that was all. He'll throw out the handkerchief. It's blood.
Alright.
Which, Blue, of all people, you understand.
Yeah. Blood's hard to watch out of linen.
Yeah.
Kizzy,
That's something
would you
everyone would
like-
done. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Would you like to hear my idea for who should join you? Trial?
Sure. He still groans, but feeling a little bit better from the wine.
With the trial by the shadows, I believe me and Kark should join you. Both of us are the sneakiest in the group. Apart from you, of course.
Can't argue with that.
With the trial by investigation, that should be Bill and Henry.
What was that? Hold-
Hardest.
Okay, you're clear. First, it's giving you a lot of static from my end. I don't know.
Beep!
Sorry. Why does that always work? Anyways,
With the trial by investigation, that should be Pip and Henry who join you. Both of them are the smartest in the group.
that definitely I can agree with.
And with the trial by combat, that should be Garnian and Belwraith.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Belwraith
Alright.
Belwraith can heal and do a decent amount of damage, and Garnan, you've seen Garnan.
Yeah.
And Garnan is Garnan.
No need to say more about Garnan. He's a tank. Well, technically that would be Knuckle, but...
No. Garnan is a metaphorical tank. Knackle's a literal tank.
Yeah.
Alright.
Everyone in the party with little to no issue.
All right. Valve, Herma, if you have a problem with this, speak up now.
Beep, beep. No problem. Yeah, it's great.
All it takes is darkness. They
I
can't
hear
see
no problems. It's going this way.
Yeah, I'm not. It sounds like Herma and Valve are all for it, guys.
Shit. Yeah, that's their dad.
Alright.
So we did it.
Okay, I found my good dice. Winter?
Yeah.
The first dice, the first d20 I ever bought is what would be considered a super prodigy. I have rolled 7 natural 20s in the past two campaigns I've played.
Nice.
This dice is really
Lucky.
good.
So what I'm here, so just to make sure I know what I'm hearing, it sounds like for the Trials of Shadows, you want to take Blue and Karik.
Yeah.
For the Trials of Navigation, you want to take Bimp and Henrik.
Check.
And then for the Trial by Combat, you want Garnan and you want Belwraith.
Bingo.
All right. Good to know.
Shit.
Good variety. Good. But I say you got your well ranges here. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. All right. And considering you're walking into this blind, I mean, that's all the better.
Yep.
With that being said, as you guys prepare for the day, You have one last day before the Trials of Shadows, and as you plan and breakfast, and you get some breakfast as it is served to you. That is where we're going to end tonight's session, and next session we're going to go into last preparations because next week I want to do the Trial of Shadows. But
Definitely.
but I know that. But I know that Walf wants to still do that thing with the Losa, which he could have done tonight, but he chose to either play his video game or he passed out.
I'm 99% sure he's passed out because he would have had to have checked. I mean, it's been hours. Literally 2 hours, I think, since he said anything.
His his personal character feels like he would have heard us.
Yeah,
You can get that caught up in a game.
I feel like he's passed out.
I agree. I don't think anyone could really get that involved into a game. Well, no correction. I could. As soon as I said it, I realized I was one of those kind of people.
I was about to say I'm one of those people. You guys have seen me when I go like try hard.
Oh yeah, you don't. But then again, not for 4 hours.
True, not for 4 hours, but
2 hours.
I zone out sometimes, and I remember like several times I'm like, "Oh shit! Hi guys, I'm sorry, I am fucking silent. I'm try hard mode, guys. I'm so sorry." And like that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. It's been a while since I got that involved in a game, but yeah, I used to get that. I could see myself getting that way. But,
Never got like that, and I do get like that. I always keep track of if my phone is, and if someone says my name, I always kind of look too.
Well, it's possible that also he might have like, when in game it muted him or not muted, so he can't hear because he's playing the game. Possibly.
God,
But
not checking in though at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I suppose.
Not checking in is the big thing.
And also, side note though, Tiny, I need to work on Salvador's voice a little bit. I got it close, but it's not quite where I want it to be. It's not posh enough.
It's not as
like I have a specific voice, and I was able to do it for an NPC for my IRL characters. But I want to I need to drink some more water so I can hit those notes that I want to sound like just the fucking douchiest guy in the most poshest position.
He said me
Whole
and your
family
mother
and
wish you
let
well.
him have existential crisis after crisis.
But I would just want to point out.
One by one.
But I just want to point out, I did not pick Blue's backstory. You're the one who picked his backstory. You looked at me and you said, here's his parents. Do what you want with them. And
Here's his parents. His dad sucks. His mom.
testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We hear
Yes.
you now.
There we go. Jesus criminy. It's my mic. It's just it's the cord for my mic. That's the issue. I need to replace it.
I see.
One sec.
Yes.
Salvador said me and your mother wish you well, not knowing that Blue knows they already broke it.
Oh.
Hmm.
Good. Interesting.
You guys don't talk like at all, and he doesn't know shit.
Yep.
I just rolled my
Just gonna-
dice for fuck's sake, and it came up nat 20.
Naturally, always. Hey, don't feel bad.
Always.
Don't feel
Oh,
bad.
sure. From now on, I'm using my real dice.
I don't blame you. But I say I have DM syndrome, where I only roll good when I'm the dungeon master. When I'm a player, that's when I roll garbage.
I literally rolled like 5 times, everything above 15.
Naturally, always.
Next session, Blue's gonna cast Sitting on him again and laugh at him.
Fair enough. But we'll cross that. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, for anybody on stream, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you press down on that like button, like there's no tomorrow. About to say, Tiny, Stray, Wanderer. Thank you so much for joining me, my dudes.
You're welcome.
No problem. It was a blast.
I know this was very much a roleplay heavy episode, but I hope you guys still enjoyed it and had a good time.
It was good.
I got to learn the entirety of Mr. Buff Dude's backstory.
Well, you got the gist of it, not the whole backstory.
Oh,
There's always still going to be more that you don't know, but you basically got his childhood going into adulthood.
You got the summarized version of
Yeah,
it.
pretty much. I hope you did like that though. I looked at his spells and I'm like, what would he do to impress Blue in this? And he's just like, I know what he would do. And he casts Programmed Image.
I was wondering what that spell was.
It's a
I
very
was actually looking at that spell.
It's a very beautiful spell that basically allows the caster to present images, various different kinds of images, and basically he used the walls around him to convey those messages.
Projected it on.
Pretty much, and basically it was up to, it would be up to Blue to be able to interpret what those images were, and because he was being a maestro and moving his hands, not really having to focus on anything else, I basically was like, Blue doesn't need to roll for this. Like he could literally observe everything and not be distracted.
Yeah.
If it would have been like, oh, I'm playing my lute and trying to do all this stuff, I would have said like, well, he would have probably had to roll a perception check to see it all, but because you were using the maestro stick, you just needed to swish and flick.
Well, his passive perception is a 19.
I know.
So
That's the other reason why I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, basically you got the gist version of everything that happened, and it's a really cool spell. I know Caleb learned it in Critical Role, but it's a spell. I didn't say how I didn't say how he used it or where he used it. I just said he did learn it. A wizard can learn any spell, pretty much.
true. Pretty much.
There's limitations. There are some like holy spells that they can't cast.
Ceremony.
Meow meow. Meow.
I zoned out for half a second there.
You
But-
going to bed?
Indeed.